AF. It's Brooke and
like big veiny cock, Jenny.
so pull up a chair at our kitchen table and hang.
While I bulldog.
Can you hear our child barking in the background?
Yes, this is episode number something. And
42.
Our guest is Kathy
Robertson. Kathy Bakken.
Bakken.
It's Bakken. It rhymes with rockin'.
Kathy Bakken.
Bakken Robertson.
She'll always be Bakken to me.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty long one. She's got some. There's a whole lot of interesting shit that she's done.
Yep.
I didn't know about the lost thing. Y'all will hear about that.
Yeah. So she, her job or career is designing posters to promote shows and movies and such, which is a fucking cool ass job. And she's also one of the hosts of the Cinemondo Podcast.
Highly recommended.
Highly recommend that. She's got two of her buddies, Burke and Mark.
Yeah, and her and Barkton, Barky fuck. Her and Burke were both involved in the big West Memphis 3 case back in the 90s. The 3 kids from Arkansas that were
and we
falsely
talk about that.
arrested, and that whole ordeal. They were instrumental
falsely
in
convicted.
It. So, convicted, yes, for sure. Spent, I think, like 15 years in
Damien
prison.
Was on death row. Like he almost got...
definitely listen to this episode in its entirety. A lot of cool shit talked about. We kind of jump all over the place. She's a big film, horror, sci-fi, really anything film and TV buff. But
and she's also my half sister.
Yeah, and it was the first time they have spoken,
like face to face, spoken
directly.
Yeah. I mean, we were on Skype, but like basically.
But yeah, so it was pretty cool for
besides over social media over the past few years. But yeah, it was really cool, and we had a good time talking to her. I got a little.
Brooke tied one on.
I got a little.
Don't know where it came from either.
Actually,
all of a sudden, after it was over, she was trashed,
hammered.
I don't know what happened.
White girl wasted.
I don't know what she did. There's nothing different done this episode than any other. I don't know if you were down in more beers because the shot total was the same as always.
So I think here's what happened. I think I had already drank a couple beers or so leading up to the podcast. I guess forgetting about the whole shot component and also drinking beer while doing the pod and it like so I don't know how many I had drank, my usual like 2 or so, maybe like getting ready for dinner and stuff, and then during dinner, and then so I was fucking hammered. I woke up this morning not in a good place.
Yeah, she felt like a pile of dicks.
Not in a good place at all. So I'm feeling a little bit better now. My stomach's like...
The daddy was fine. I was golden. Don't worry about me. I can hold my mud.
I can't anymore.
No, I can't either. I mean, I don't know what happened.
It was
a random drunk thing.
Yeah, so I'm curious even if I need to go back and listen to it to see if I sound drunk on the podcast. I don't know. Kathy probably thinks I'm...
No, but it was a great... If you listen to it understanding that these are, 2 sisters that haven't spoken directly to each other in their whole lives. One's 39... And Kathy, I don't know how old she is, but she looks 35.
Yeah, I mean, but she's
jacked.
Yeah, my oldest sister is going to be 52.
I don't know. Kathy.
This year, so she's older than that because, my dad was married before my mom and had them earlier in his life. But yeah, I mean, it's...
Tell you what, if she's over 50, you can kiss my ass. Well, and I know she is, but I'm just saying.
Logistically,
take a look at...
but she looks fucking amazing. Yeah.
Look up Kathy
Robertson
on Facebook and look at some of her workout pictures. She's jacked as fuck.
Yeah.
Her and her husband both very in shape, workout. But she's a testament to living a healthy lifestyle.
Yep.
Because... If you want to look good when you're... The fact, if that's real, she's in her 50s, then damn.
Yeah, take notes. I mean, that should encourage you, babe, because we have some of the same genes.
Oh, no. It's definitely encouraging for me on my side, I just can't have you having that kind of expectation for me because I'm minutes away from falling apart.
Baby,
at any time.
Don't you worry.
But so this episode was really fun. I loved it. I hope to talk to her more
we're
again.
going
We're going on their show.
Mm-hmm. We're going to go on their show, and then we're going to get to talk to her and Brooke and Mark, and maybe get to say hello to the pit bull that's always in the background, too. That I love him.
Yeah. So you guys enjoy Bacan.
Would you...
No, Bacan. Kathy Bacan Robertson.
Yes, thank you.
And you can also check out her husband is an artist, Chad Robertson.
Yeah, and her podcast is Cinemondo Podcast. They are at Cinemondo Podcast on Twitter and Instagram, I believe.
Yeah.
I'll put their handles and stuff in the show notes.
Yeah,
so.
This is definitely one of our lesser naughty episodes, which was great. It's a good mix-up.
But
and I love, but episode's not going to be the same every time. There's going to be some that are more
We're not going to always
normal.
talk about pegging and...
Well, we don't know anything about
I know we don't. But didn't somebody bring that up one time and it just popped in my head?
Yeah, Amanda from Blunt Mommy.
And Priory Society, did they...
I don't know if they talked about it or not. But
it's not,
that's not our thing on a normal, but me and you are never going to discuss that.
We're not.
Unless that's brought on by a third party.
No, you're correct. All right. So,
enjoy it. Here she is.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Are you guys on video?
Here I can be. Hang on.
All I see is me, my big face.
I don't know if you want to.
Oh my God, much better. Okay.
Hi.
Hey.
I'm down here on the sexy end of the table.
Oh no! Hello. Oh my God, I'm freaking out a little bit.
How glorious is this gathering, though?
I know, it's wonderful. Yeah,
This is kind of historic.
This is fantastic.
So, do you have the podcasting studio like in your house?
No, this is just like am I talking really loud?
No, you sound great,
fine.
actually.
You sound perfect.
Okay.
It's like you're in the room with us.
Oh, now I got it. This is like my little mini kit so that I can do this.
Nice.
And I don't have to go to Burke's house. That's for real.
Oh, so he's the one with the precious pit bull. Damien, sorry. Mine's on my phone.
Yeah, is that Burke's
Darwin.
dog?
Yes, that's Burke's dog.
Love that dog.
I love him so much. I just
He's
want to
so-
squish his face.
He's so cute. But it was kind of touch and go at first because he was kind of damaged when they got him. And they didn't understand his language.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
he was growling and scaring everyone. But it turns out that's just how he talks.
Yeah. Sometimes.
Yeah, people get a little scared, too, looking at pit bulls. But, God, they're just such wussies, really, deep down inside.
They are. They're squishies.
just want to be loved and squished. Ours was, John just had his 9th birthday today, so we gave him
Whoa.
I know, he got a nice raw hamburger with a candle in it.
Yep. And Gunnar sang him happy birthday, and it was glorious, but he's big 9, so he's getting to be an old man.
I know, his gray face.
Oh, baby.
I know.
So cute.
Hey, you're already recording, aren't you, babe?
Yeah, I did.
You are a ninja with that shit, by the way.
Because I don't want to forget.
I know, but it's so
So-
good. You just like, pook, and I'll be like, yo.
Well, I did it before we hit call.
That's
'cause,
beautiful.
Yeah, I am scared I'm going to forget.
Well, I mean, we can always, fix anything
Yeah.
that we want. But so awesome that you're joining us.
I know.
For
thank
everyone
you.
that's listening, we haven't even introduced.
I know, I'm terrible
Kathy.
at that. This is Kathy. How do you say your last name? I'm so sorry.
Do you say Robertson or Bacan Robertson? Bacon.
Pecan.
Is it Bacon, Bacan? How's
It's
it go?
sort of, it's pronounced Bakken.
Bacan.
Like,
Okay.
Like rockin' Bakken.
Yep.
Is how we
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's the corny way to say it.
Well, I'm going to be honest. Everyone I've ever told about you, it's been Kathy Bacan Robertson. I'm not going to lie to you. I wish I would be cool.
I'm going to need
That's
you to
just-
pronounce it pecan.
That's just how I said it from
And,
reading
I
it.
don't really like this name, but I'm so lazy. I can't figure out how to change it. And all my credit cards, I'm like,
No, I'd leave it.
Robertson to the world, but all my credit history and everything else is just going to stay Bakken.
Yeah.
Oh, so Robertson's your married name.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. See, that's
Chad
yeah.
Robertson.
Mm-hmm.
They a lot of times call him Mr. Bakken. Because
Ah,
Mr. Backen.
I'm sure he loves that.
He's all like,
I don't know why my gut. Y'all are so laughing. I thought I was spot on. I was like, I bet I'm saying this shit right. It's Kathy Bacan, Backen, something in there. Robertson.
It's Norwegian apparently. It's supposed to mean the hill. The only time anyone has ever seriously pronounced it correctly, which nobody does, is when I went into like a Swedish furniture store and they saw my name and they went, "Oh, Bakken, there's an amusement park called Bakken in Sweden." And I'm like,
"Oh, shit."
Nice.
So if they're sort of in the Norwegian area.
So is there like a piece
the stupidest geography person ever?
Is there like a piece of IKEA furniture that's
They should name it the Bakken.
Is there like some type of
The
cabinet?
Bakken shelf.
Yeah.
But Kathy is one of the hosts of Cinemondo podcast
And
that we've been
love it.
telling you guys about. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
We're having fun. You guys inspired us. We've been talking about a podcast for a while, and then when I heard you guys, I'm like, we really should do this. This sounds so fun.
It is fun.
It is super fun.
And you guys do a great job. It's unreal. What's so good about what you guys did is you got your sound right immediately.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it sounded good, and that's
thank God we had Burke.
Oh, because he already had like equipment and stuff, right?
Yeah, Burke is like, he used to be in bands, and he's like, he does a lot of effects and sounds and movies, and so he kind of knew what to do. But this Skype thing, none of us have done it before. This is our first time doing a podcast over Skype, so I had to figure it out.
It sounds really good. I mean, the audio, when you hear it back, it's unbelievable how much better it sounds than a regular call.
Right. I mean, it's there's some people that, or quite a few podcasts that all the hosts aren't in the same city even. So they'll just Skype, and, you know, real professional ones they send like all the separate audio to somebody to splice it together. But there's plenty of like independent podcasts that they just do it this way and call it a day. And I think it sounds, I mean, we've done Rachel, and we've done a bunch.
Yeah, Rachel does Skype, and
Priory Society we did.
Jody at Po Boys. Yeah, Priory Society. How about those guys?
Yeah, did you listen to those?
They're awesome, but man, I'm telling you, that what I love about them, whether you know, because like I've said, you know, we're not into the swinging lifestyle personally. Don't judge anyone that does. But what I love is they own their shit. You know, like they're happy.
Oh yeah.
And they seem to be responsible adults. I mean, fuck, man.
And there's a lot of people out there that are, I mean, a lot of freaks out there.
Well, a lot of people love to hear people that are willing to talk about their, you know, we all got our little bullshits, you know, different things. Everybody's got their ridiculousness.
No, I do not. I have none.
And there's
no bullshit.
Nice. It is all.
And, you know, you just got to applaud them, you know, for having their show. I think it's important for a certain group of people to, you know, be able to hear that there's others like them.
Apparently an audience for it, though. I mean,
for sure.
Yeah, they're very popular.
Hey, well, let's down with our first horrible shot. This one is we'll do this one to Cinemondo.
All right, Cinemondo.
And
now I get to see you do the shots.
Oh, this is I'm going to throw up. Hers is a good one this time.
I'm cheating tonight. I'm doing the Rumpelmans and Baileys tonight so
I've
that I don't
got the shitty whiskey, and I'm going to throw up. Oh, fuck, man. Nuh-uh.
Woo.
Oh.
Yeah.
I should have gotten some just for that.
I know. Yeah, you should. Like, what are you drinking? Is that just like a normal drink, or is it?
You know, I just never. I'm a kind of like wimpy drinker. I drink white wine and things like that. But on our podcast, we'll kind of do a shot here and there sometimes just to loosen it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It helps.
But whatever's handy.
It makes good podcasting, I think. The shots.
Well, I've got to break the ice here.
I know.
What? I got to break the ice for our listeners.
Okay.
Because we've told them before that you guys are sisters, related.
That's right.
Yep.
And so what's been cool for me, since I'm not your brothers, not related to either one of you.
Thank God. Yeah.
Well, that would be like
but getting to see, like, you know, it's almost like we got to know Kathy by social media, luckily. That's the beauty of it, how we got to introduced into her life. But what's it been like for you guys to see each other? And has there been times, Kathy, because I know from Brooke, I'm talking to her all the time, we talk every once in a while. Like, you learn little things like, oh, shit, that right there is a sign that we're sisters. There's a sign that we're sisters. There's, you know, good God, that's weird. That's weird. That's weird.
No.
How many times has that happened to you?
Well, it's never happened until now. But, there was sort of, I guess we have to kind of, I don't know how much they know that this was the first time I'm actually talking to Brooke in my whole life.
Yes.
Besides when she was a tiny little toddler.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think I was like 4 or 5 maybe when you came over. Yeah.
And I was like in full horrible 80s. Ugh.
Yeah.
Anyway.
There were shoulder pads involved probably.
Oh, God, I wish I could have seen that.
Oh, Jesus. I have a picture somewhere, I bet.
We have a picture at my parents' house somewhere. Oh. Yeah.
Do not publish that.
No. God knows where it is now, too.
Painful. Anyway, I mean, I loved him at the time, and I look back and go, what? But anyway, so have not ever spoken to Brooke until now.
I know.
And that's where I've been sort of face to face. It's sort of freaking me out.
I know. It's pretty cool.
No, it's
I saw you on Facebook, and I was being shy. I didn't know what to do because it's a weird. You don't know whether you should reach out or how if it would be awkward. And when I saw the pit bulls and I saw the weightlifting and I saw there's like I've got to contact this girl. She is so common. And when I wrote so cute when Randall responded, going, "Holy shit, this is great!" I'm like,
no, I thought it was great. I mean, I think it was like shortly after I had Gunner, and you were like, "Okay, you got a cute kid, and it looks like we got a lot, we're half sisters, so let's be friends." And no, I think it's great. I mean, and I can be so oblivious to things sometimes that at first I think I was like, I read like half your message before I realized like, oh shit, this is Kathy.
I know, because it kind of came out of the blue. But
and I'm so glad that you did reach out because, I mean, Kathy and I technically, we have the same biological dad, but haven't ever gotten to spend any time with her until now.
And you both have, different moms, same biological dad. Both of you got awesome to the tits moms. Mm-hmm. Both of your moms are the shit.
Yeah.
I love your mother, you know that, and Kathy's mother is very dear to my heart.
Yeah,
I love that sweet lady. I've never spoken to her either, but she has become literally one of my best friends on Facebook. I love her, man. She's so supportive, and she's just, I don't know, man. You got a good one there. She's a good mom.
That's good. She did a good job, I think. But
she did. But I mean, I kind of get a kick out of telling my dad even like, I don't know if you know, but like Kathy and I have a whole lot in common, and like I see a whole lot. Like I feel like even like looks wise, like you can tell that we're related for sure.
Oh, for for fuck's sake, of course you can.
Yeah. I mean, first thing I saw when I, saw a picture of you, it was like, holy shit, that's my dad's smile. Like,
I know. It's so weird.
Yeah,
I've seen old pictures of him young. I'm like, it looks just like me.
It looked just like you. Yeah. And I look the most like, my dad than any of, my other 2 sisters too. Yeah. And like, cause even since I was born, I've been like little miniature Alex.
Yeah, it would be like, it would go you, Kathy, then Beth.
You think?
Yeah, I think as far as, y'all's biological dad's genes are strong.
They are.
I mean, I see a lot of Kathy's mother in her too. She's a very beautiful lady. Sure. But what got me was the artistic side. I don't know where if that's, you got that side. It's very artistic from both of you. You both work out. But I think you both also got genetics that are good. Like, because, I mean, God's sake, a lot of women would kill both of you. I know Brooke can eat really whatever, and she thinks she still has to work out, and she does, but she's got a gift.
Do not stop working out.
No.
That's the key. It really is the key.
But, me, if I overeat for a weekend, I'll put on, I mean, I'm a big guy. I can put on plenty of weight in no time. She burns it.
But I mean, I can tell that like it doesn't take a whole lot of effort physically, and
which is very genetic,
right? But I mean, like I'm super jealous right now of Kathy's arms right now.
Well, Kathy works out like a champ. But and then the other part was y'all's shared love of animals.
Yep.
Like it's deep,
it's almost psychotic.
Yeah. Like Brooke was a vet tech. She went to school originally to be a vet.
I have a degree in animal science.
That.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
And so
and I work at
all that together is really proof I mean,
and
there's plenty of proof, but we don't, that's just straight up.
And the love of horror
that's true.
Crime.
True crime and all things like freaky and weird. And yeah, I mean,
and see, that's unusual because you don't meet a ton of women who like that. So it was like,
no, that is.
Not only did I find someone cool like that, I'm related to.
I know. Oh, it's crazy.
It's so weird.
And that kind of leads me to the first thing that I wanted to talk to you about. And I want to talk to you about this since I met you on that beautiful message that we were talking about that we shared. Is your involvement in the West Memphis 3 case.
Yes.
That, as I remember following that, I was in high school. Mm-hmm. I graduated in 1997.
And what year did that happen?
96, right?
93, I think boy, I'm so rusty. I'm about to go, why is she involved in this? She doesn't know.
Well, it's a long fucking time ago.
The case was 93. The movie came out in 96.
Okay.
And then the movie we're in came out in 98.
That's right, because...
I lived there.
Time ago.
Yeah. I lived in Memphis at that point in time. Yeah, we lived in Germantown until 95.
Oh.
That's
Do you
right.
remember the case?
Yeah. I mean, I was in early high school. Or no, 93 I was still in middle school, but yeah, I mean, it was terrifying.
That was freshman year.
Terrifying.
93 was our freshman year.
Yeah, even back then, I liked to watch unsolved mysteries and stuff and give myself nightmares. And yeah.
Well, but so from everything I've read, and I remember I followed it pretty close in high school. I thought it was bullshit from the jump.
Fuck yeah.
But everything I've read about you was that in 96, you saw the movie, and you can tell me if this is wrong, but you saw the movie, you and Brooke and another guy, after seeing the movie, started the WM3.org website or kept it afloat. And that was in 96, right? And there was no real internet then. Because I remember, it was like dial-up garbage.
That's the kind of interesting thing about this, I think, is that we kind of grew with the internet.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. So it was
sort of this ramping up. And so I think because of that, we were kind of the first one on the block to do it, even though it wasn't really our intention. When this thing started, we were like, this is bullshit. We have to do something. We didn't really know what, right? It's like this, because I saw the movie because I worked on the poster. So we saw it before it came out.
Oh, cool.
So I had to show it to my friends because you got to see this. You won't believe it. And I assumed, because it's really hard to find information, we assumed they were out because how could they not be out?
Clearly, they're fucking innocent. So why would they still be in jail? Oh, because the justice system is fucked.
Yes.
That's why.
And because it was just so.
And because of how they looked. That was the biggest part. I remember in 96 being like, you know what, that's so fucked up.
Right.
Because I got friends that looked just like them. Yeah, and you looked a lot like them. Like Brooke was definitely
I was right in that wheelhouse. Right in that wheelhouse of in
high school, the big old huge pants at the bottom.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I used to get followed around stores everywhere.
She's clearly a criminal.
Oh, yeah, obviously exactly. She's stealing everything.
But, so it bothered me, and that was the biggest thing that jumped. I was like, they're guilty just because of how they looked, especially Damien, right?
Who wouldn't turn heads anywhere like New York or LA? It was
exactly
no one would even look at him twice.
Right, but in Arkansas,
Memphis, he was a total weirdo,
Oh,
yeah. But so the basis of everything, as far as I'm sure you don't really talk about it a whole lot, but you guys kept that site afloat and updated as much as you could on the limited internet that we had at that time.
Yeah. And then, what happened is funny because our first step was to take flyers to a movie theater. That was we've done our job.
Yeah.
Man, we are some good Samaritans. We have done our part.
Put out a good pamphlet and people will read and they will be mad. And then we were like, well, maybe we can look around, because at the time there were news groups, sort of discussion kind of groups. Mm-hmm. And we kind of put out feelers, and really nobody knew about the case, really. There were a couple people that were sort of making noise about it, not a lot, who actually got involved with us and stayed the whole time. They were great. But then as we start getting more of a presence on the news groups, the internet kind of starts growing a little bit. And a guy at Harvard says, hey, I'll build you a website. We're like, cool.
That's fucking
we don't
awesome.
know what that means.
Right.
Yeah.
What is that? And how do we use it?
If you go to that, that Wayback, that time machine thing in browsers you can do, that Wayback Time Machine or whatever it is, you can see our old site back in the day. It was like 2 pages basically, and it was like donate, and we didn't even know what we were donating for. We just
it was like flashing letters, like that was high tech, like HTML.
Yeah, that old code.
It was so primitive. And then we just added to it. We just wanted to go to the hearings and report on it because, since the movies came out, nobody was really doing that. So we just felt like it was up to us to kind of do it. So we wrote to the guys and found out they weren't doing anything. They hadn't talked to the lawyers in years. Then we called Dan Stidham, and he was like, nope, there's nothing going on. Nope. And we're like, okay, we got to go out there and see this for ourselves. So we just flew out to Arkansas, and I've never been to a prison, never been in prison. So we connected with Dan Stidham, and the first thing he does in his office is he throws down all the crime scene photos and the autopsy pictures and looks at our reaction like, can you stomach this, right? Mm-hmm. And we were like, what? And he goes, all the people in this room are the only people involved in this case right now. We're like, we're involved in this case?
That had to feel real all of a sudden.
We had to. I know. Then we felt like we had to because no one else was doing it. Yeah. So we kind of inherited it almost. And
so wait, was Stidham the defense attorney or the prosecutor?
He was Jesse's attorney.
Jesse's attorney. Okay.
Yeah. He was the most accessible at the time. He was the only one that really lasted. He was the one still with Jesse. All the other lawyers had bailed.
Oh.
Yeah, and it was Damien Eccles, Jesse, Miss Kelly, and Jason something. Baldwin. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And those lawyers were gone. And, Damien, he has had automatic appeals, but he didn't really have a lawyer working for him on his behalf, constantly. They were just filing papers.
Yeah.
But we went out there. We thought, we're going to go to these hearings, and they're going to get a new trial. That'll be the end of it. And this, years were going by. We're like, when is this going to end?
Yeah.
And we sort of got to a point where we didn't think it was. We thought this was going to end badly. It's just not going to. We had to prepare ourselves because, you never know. And they were just resistant the whole time.
And then, you guys got some pretty big backers came on board at some point, right? Wasn't it Johnny Depp and Eddie Vedder?
Yeah, they were kind of circling for a while. Damien's wife, Lori, who was amazing, she sort of, created kind of a effort legally to pursue. Her point was, let's get Damien and then the others will follow.
Sure.
Yeah.
And Damien was the most urgent because he was on death row. So we started basically doing fundraisers and, anything we could to help her raise funds to pay lawyers because they were getting nowhere with free help. It just wasn't, so they had experts. We had tried contacting experts, forensic guys, but they cost money. What happened?
Oh, Randall took another shot without me, and I just looked over. I looked over and saw his face going.
Yeah, I almost threw up. I just took a shot of moonshine.
I was like,
"What
the fuck, man?" Okay, go ahead, guys.
Yeah, sorry. I didn't mean to almost throw up on you.
Dry stuff. I'm sorry.
No, it's totally awesome. I'm balls deep into this. I've always wanted to ask you about this, so I'm enthralled.
Well, especially how it got so. It was just how it escalated to the point
wasn't it
where,
at the end of the day it was some new DNA came to light, right, Kathy? That ended up getting them freed. It showed a third party DNA that couldn't be attributed to the guys or the kids, right?
That had always sort of been around. They didn't really know what to do with it.
Sure.
But when they got good, what happened is when they decided to finally hire the A-list experts that you see in the third movie. Mm-hmm. That was money from Peter Jackson, Johnny Depp. We had done a photo page where you could send in $10 or $5 something and get your photo on our website. And so people were sending. It was so cute. And kids were doing classes were sending us money and drawing. It was so amazing the outpouring of help. And this was around the world. It was weird to me that we were getting this international support for this American case. This is one little case in Arkansas.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But they, so we sent them, I think, $10,000 just from that one effort, and so they were able to hire these experts, fly them out to Arkansas to present their case. The big turning point was when they said the damage on the bodies was not human bite marks. It wasn't human inflicted. It was actually postmortem animal predation.
I remember reading
that was the turning point because at that point you're like, well, then all the stuff that they convicted this guy on did not happen.
Sure.
Right. All the satanic ritual shit.
Seriously. Yeah, creepy. So that was the big turning point because they had valid, real experts saying, here's what happened. They were murdered, most likely drowned. They were knocked out, tied up, thrown in the water. They drowned, and the animals preyed on them, which was natural behavior, for animals.
Which is what happens when you leave a body out in the woods when there's
or
like
water, dump in the water
and shit. Yeah, I mean.
So, we went to that murder site when we were early on just to see. We just had to see it. And it was kind of amazing how small it was because
all the
parking
pictures
lot
you
for
see
this,
and stuff.
Truck stop was super close. The 24-hour truck wash was right there. Lights, people in there, water coming out.
Right next to it.
Yeah, exactly. And all you saw was this wall of trucks. So it would be real easy for someone to just park their car. No one would see them behind the trucks. Just dump them, run away. But there's no way all that could have happened there because there's so much activity.
Right.
So it was really creepy. But yeah, so that was basically the turning point. So at that point, even now, none of us, all this time and all this effort, we just want to know what happened.
Like who
we
really?
No scenario.
Who really did that horrible thing to those little kids?
And what did they do? It's it's mind.
That's the worst part to me is that not only are all these other kids' lives ruined that are still alive, what happened to those poor babies that got brutally murdered? Like some sick fuck that did that.
Well, I mean, everything I've read, the biggest finger is pointed at one of their like stepdads or something.
I did hear that recently.
But that the community as a whole have been like so protective of him that they just consider.
Is he alive?
Because
still?
the West Memphis 3, their plea deal on a technicality, right, that they're still convicted of murder, so they just like pretend like they're still the ones,
even though they're not in jail anymore.
Yeah, the community.
Well, I think, when we first started going to Arkansas, people did not like us. Like there was a definite hostility toward us. And then as time went by, people were really supportive. So the tide changed. Like I think people really do believe they're innocent.
Yeah.
There's just a small faction, very outspoken.
I think at first they were like, no, we caught them. They're in jail. Like it's case closed. Like, and weren't willing to open their eyes to the fact that like all this other evidence and stuff, like clearly it's not them. And
I think Kathy's right. I think what I read was like the church that the guy, the person that most people think did it, the stepfather or whatever. It's that church that Herb or something. What's that?
Mark Byers or Terry Hobbs.
Terry Hobbs. That's the name I've heard about.
He's the new guy. He's the new. When most people say the stepfather, they usually mean Byers because they haven't seen the other movies. But once you see the third movie and you see that deposition, which was, ironically, he brought it upon himself that he got deposed because he decided he was going to sue Natalie Maines from the Dixie Chicks because she was being outspoken about suspecting him. So he sued her, and in doing so, left himself open to be deposed about the murders.
What an idiot. What an idiot.
Whoops.
Yep.
Oopsie.
Well, so he's the most current guy,
was it
right?
one person that did it that killed? I mean, it was
nobody knows.
Yeah, nobody.
There's still no.
God.
Nobody knows.
That's just so hard.
And I'm not even buying the Terry Hobbs. It's like I feel like to even go after a guy is doing the same thing they did to the West Memphis 3. Going after Byers was the same thing. It's like I always withhold judgment because I think he's an easy target and he makes sense, but I still am not seeing any real proof that he did it.
Well, now
I know when West of Memphis came out, I don't know if you saw that, but I didn't really like this movie because they tended to point the finger right at Hobbs in a really big way, and they brought his daughter in to talk about how he had abused her, which had nothing to do with anything. It's
but
sure, he's a creepy dude. It doesn't make him
he's a
murderer.
shithead.
No, you're absolutely
exactly.
right. You're absolutely right. Like that is such a valid point that makes me realize, like what she just said, it's doing exactly the same thing. Like,
and that's the thing
was
that
done to the guys.
Exactly, and they'll try and even if like anybody that they think remotely might have done something like this, they'll try to catch them something in some kind of lie, like the whole like Michael Peterson thing. I don't know if you watched The Staircase. Like,
of course I did.
Yeah,
who do you think I am?
I know, sure enough. Yes. So good. I honestly don't think he did it, but like he was kind of a weirdo, so they kind of caught him lying about other weird shit, but it's like just because he lied about some random shit doesn't mean he's a murderer.
Well, that's the key nowadays, is to either catch you in a bullshit lie or
to try and be like, they're not 100%.
Or convict you in the public eye first,
Right.
and then you're really fucked, which is what Kathy's talking about with Hobbs. When somebody points a big finger at you in the public eye, you're fucked.
Yeah, I mean, but we have so much more.
How that works now.
I know. There's just so much more technology now. Like, I feel like they can really, like, dial it into, like, the whole... I mean, I don't know how much DNA and stuff they have from that crime scene. I need to, like,
I don't know if it'll ever get solved.
No, there isn't any.
Yeah.
There isn't any because they were in the water.
Yeah.
And really, there was nothing was done. I mean, they weren't raped. There was no DNA to be left. So
yeah, and they're left in the water.
If you dump the waters in the water, you're pretty much, getting rid of most of
it
the
washes
evidence.
most of the evidence away, unless they were sexually assaulted, where there's stuff up inside, like the Green River Killer. That was, but
yeah. No, there's nothing.
I've got to
they weren't raped.
I've got to do my classic interrupt everyone right now before I forget
His
this
face
point.
is so funny when he does that. He's like,
it's every time, and I'm the world's worst about it.
No.
No. This is something that I've got to get your opinion on.
I'm going to do my other shot now.
Yeah,
Since
go
you
ahead.
Did yours.
Go ahead. Is Castle Rock. All right, so you brought this, and not to change, I just think we'll never get anywhere with, like you said, with the West Memphis 3. From this point, we don't know who did water.
Oh my God, that was all Rumpleman.
But Castle Rock, you recommended. We started watching it based on your, like you posted something about, oh my God, a head, a car, a rope.
No. Yeah. No, it was their podcast.
Oh, was it the podcast?
It was their episode of the podcast where they were talking about old boy, like the Skarsgård guy.
Yeah.
And because they were talking about Castle Rock and It, because he's also the clown in the new It, which I have not been able to watch yet.
I could never
haven't
watch
been
it.
able to.
Okay, so first of all, before we get into Castle Rock, It was one of those things, like, it was a defining...
It ruined clowns for me.
It was ruined fucking clowns for me. But I mean, that came on. It was, the made for TV shit. Like,
Yes.
and I was in 6th grade.
Yeah, we were like in elementary, maybe middle.
But still, because I've always been obsessed with shit like this. Poltergeist was my favorite movie when I was 5, and
which we're going to talk to you guys about on
our
podcast.
Yes,
that's great.
Please,
yeah, let's save that one for theirs because I do want to get into the. Yes. What that says about you that you love.
And Lost Boys. I went to go see Lost Boys when I was 8 in the movie theater. Susan was like, so, that came on when I was in about 6th grade. That movie gave me so many nightmares, or that like mini series that was on, ABC or whatever. It was like over, I don't know, 3 or 4 nights or something. Yeah, it was like 3
or 4 weeks or nights. Yeah, different shows.
Horrified me. So, I mean, I heard the new one is super good and that he just takes it to another level. Like, I love Tim Curry so much, and him as Pennywise, like, it's just iconic to me. And I get it that it's like, he's also like Rocky Horror Picture Show guy. Like, and so
he's awesome.
He's the best. So, I mean, I'm a little scared, I guess. I don't know. I'm a fucking wuss.
We'll end up watching it. But
I'll end up watching it, and I'm scared I'm going to like it more, probably, or that I also, it was like the right amount of, like, there wasn't a whole lot of gore. Like, when it gets to be, because I heard the whole scene with the kid in the beginning is super gory, and I cannot like, especially ever since having a fucking kid, like, I'm a big wuss. I mean, I've always been a wuss about anything with kids and animals, but like, especially now, like, it makes me physically ill. So that part scares me. I can always just close my eyes, Like,
well, so what was your thought of It, the movie? The new one?
About both, too. Like, the first one to me, like, maybe it's just a context thing, but I thought the first one was actually kind of more funny than scary because it had all the fun monsters in it, the Universal. Yeah, it did. All the kids were afraid of, like, the goofy monsters, Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the new one has none of that. It's just Pennywise. There's no other horror icons in it. So that was kind of a big departure from the book because, it had to have everyone's fears. So they took the fears to a different level of, like, bullies or, real life fears instead of, like, the imaginative vampires and Frankenstein.
Right.
But it's, Burke made a good point in our podcast when we talked about it's very polished. It's a very... the first one, it was but low budget TV, and it was kind of rough around the edges, which made it fun.
Right.
But Tim Curry's just fun to me, and I was never.
You had to use your imagination a lot, but my imagination was
but
wild.
But for the time, it was pretty groundbreaking for TV.
Yes, fuck it. There was blood and stuff. Yeah,
it was. But really, I think that opening scene with the kid is really the only really super scary part, only because you're not used to seeing kids endure violence like that.
Getting
in
ripped to
movies,
shreds.
usually
Yeah.
punches, right?
Yeah.
So I thought that whenever someone this sounds so freaking psychotic right now. Whenever they kill a kid in a
safe
movie
place.
or hurt a kid, I'm like, bravo! Because
Yeah.
no one crosses that line.
Oh, of course.
Like,
100%.
I understand.
It's like you just know nothing's going to happen. We don't have to worry.
It's pretend. It's pretend.
You know, exactly.
Yeah. So, but I get what you're saying.
Animal stuff, I cannot watch animal stuff. I will not watch it. Like we talk about movies to review on our podcast, and I'll say, "Is there any animal violence?" Because there is. I'm not watching it. And if there is, if it's something like if an animal dies, you don't see it on screen, or if it's minimal.
If it's just like insinuated, but and that's the way I am too with animals and kids though, and I've always been like that. Like it's just because they're both so innocent.
No, she gets pissed, Kathy, when we watch a movie that has just like horses in it and they do the horse falls. Like she'll get pissed. Like that's bullshit. I hate how they're treating those horse. She's brutal to watch those kind of movies with. I don't know if you're the same way, but. She catches that immediately.
I'm like, what the fuck did they do to make that horse fall like that? That better be computer generated. Like,
most are trained. If you see the things have changed. The old movies, yes, horses got hurt, and that's why I don't like watching some of that westerns and stuff.
Oh, some of the older movies. Oh, they all. Yeah. I mean, some of them fucking died during the making of it.
Definitely. And then some animals still die. Like there was that Dustin Hoffman series on HBO about horse racing where animals got hurt, and that show got drummed off the air because of it.
Yeah, they can break their legs though so easily. Like that's what even the trained ones, that's what scares me. What I don't like about horses in movies is their legs are so fucking susceptible to a break, and then they're dead. They're pretty much, unless a magical surgery saves them.
No, they get euthanized.
They get put down because I don't remember the name of the disease they get, but usually when their leg breaks, they're fucked.
It's colic, but it sounds it's not the same as baby colic. It's different.
It becomes a fatal colic.
Yeah. It's like it's an infection in their leg.
Their feet. They can't be immobile. It's like it's just so
because they are such huge, heavy bodies and these little tiny legs. Like it's in nature.
Yeah, they're so thin.
So humans did that,
right? But but back to what you were saying. I'm sure they are trained better nowadays for sure.
Okay. So.
Yeah. So yes, I would say it's once you get past that scene, if you just fast forward that scene, what's happening. It's coming. Yeah, just get rid of it.
Little Georgie dies, and he gets ripped to shreds by the horrible, scary thing. Clown. Yeah,
he gets his arm ripped off. Horrible, awful scene. To me, it was a great scene because they did it, and I was like shocked.
No, you're giving them props for the size of their balls to go after such a taboo thing that no one does anymore because we're a bunch of pussies.
Yeah, I mean, and. Because a child really didn't die in the making of that,
in the real
obviously,
world,
but
there are crazy fucks that kill children. Exactly, it sucks,
and that's where because I mean, how I watch movies and shows and shit. I'm fucking there. Like it's real life. Like when I'm watching it, that's why I'm just so into shit like that. So when I see something, and especially now with all the special effects look so goddamn real. If it looked like a dummy arm being ripped off or whatever, I'd be like, all right.
No, it's good nowadays.
But now it's it looks so real too that I can't. Yeah. So if we watch it, I mean, and I do want to watch it, especially now that I'm so obsessed with Castle Rock and this guy. He's just.
How can you not be obsessed with Bill Skarsgård?
He's and I was telling Randall last night,
he's so pretty.
No, he's a good-looking, creepy guy. He's perfect.
He's perfect for everything, supernatural and creepy. I mean, he's what, 6'5"?
He's like a taller John Mayer. That's creepy, is what he looks like to me.
Or I was because he looks vampire. He looks like Edward Cullen to me. So he reminds me of he's related to Robert Pattinson.
He could easily be a vampire too. The dude's he's perfect for horror movie. They can make him whatever they want. I mean, I was just saying last night, he looks like he needs to be a runway model, right there next to Giselle or something. Oh yeah, clothes would hang right off of his frame.
He's so tall and
cheekbones.
And the fucking cheekbones.
He's a bastard.
And the lips. I mean,
I hate him.
He's such a bastard. He's a good looking fuck. I gotta be honest.
So pretty.
But his brother played a vampire on True Blood. So
Eric
Skarsgård family.
Eric Northman. I know. That's
before we go,
oh my God.
Before we jump into Castle Rock, because I got questions I've got to ask.
Mm-hmm. I may not know them.
No, this is just me and Brooke when we started watching it. Of course, after the first 10 minutes, I was like, fuck this show. And I don't mean it because I still watch it, but I was like,
I have to pay attention.
There's too much to watch. Like if you're gonna miss something in this show,
and I love shit like that.
And I mean, I don't have the brain power anymore. Like I'm like, this is so much. Who could it be? Like, how do y'all get so into those? That's overload. You're gonna lose it in this show.
If you want to be challenged, I think the thing is, I don't want it spoon fed. I get bored if I know everything that's gonna happen.
I'm with you. I like easy watches. I'll be honest. I'm lazy shit.
Well, baby, your favorite shit is like romantic.
I'm a rom-com.
Yeah, I know.
I'm a soft. Oh, dude, me and Brooke, we're opposites. Oh, yes. I'll take an easy romantic. I'll take 13 going on 30 every day of the week.
Yeah, he's a big softie,
and I'm honest about it.
I mean, like right now, I would say one of your favorite movies is probably like Deadpool.
I love Deadpool.
Yeah,
who doesn't?
Oh, and who doesn't fucking love Deadpool? But I mean, like stuff like that. It's like it's got to be funny.
I don't have to think about shit with Deadpool though.
Yes.
And I like Castle Rock. I'm watching it and I'm totally in. But I feel like we're getting like, are you caught up on it?
Yeah.
Okay,
well,
so
we didn't see this very last one.
Oh, come on.
Sunday.
Damn it!
You watched the Sissy Spacek one?
Oh well, this was the one I was wanting to ask you
about.
about.
I really wanted to ask you about that.
All right, we'll talk back about this episode when we come on your show.
We watched it last night, and I was really hoping you did because it's so good. And I was like,
I can't wait now.
Well, and right from the beginning, I was like, oh,
no, but it fucks
Randall,
your
sit
whole.
your ass down.
Yeah, it fucks your whole thing. And I don't want to say anymore. I want to let Kathy watch it. We'll talk about it on her show.
Like, because at the beginning, you're like, what?
I know. It's
What's
so
happening?
weird.
And then it's like, oh, fuck. It's all
You're going to give it away.
Yeah,
Don't
I'm
give
not
it
going
away.
to. It's all crazy. It's so good, though. Like, and it was, because, I mean, you know how the Sissy Spacek one ended, where he's up in the room with Molly. Is that how it ended?
Well,
I think so. Yeah, he was up in the room with her.
Yeah.
Was he with Molly? Yeah, that's right. He took Molly he was at her house.
He was at her house.
Talking about how he was out in the woods or whatever.
So he's like, out in the woods is where you died.
Right, that's right.
It ties back to that. This next episode ties back to that.
You're about to give it away.
I
can feel it coming out of your mouth.
I'm not,
how
but
bad you want to talk about it.
I'm not, but that scene is in the next episode again.
You're right.
Is all I'm trying to say. Is like what the theme of it is. Like it ties back to that, so it kind of shows you. But I mean, it's so good. And
it is. I can't wait for you to watch it. But what about that John Locke scene ripping his head off? How gangster was that shit from the jump?
Oh my god! Well, and that's what
that was the most brutal shit I've ever watched. We were watching it.
That's what.
And he gets in and he puts the rope. I'm like, what the fuck's the rope?
In a
then he
car.
slams the gas, and we both went, holy fuck. When the blood splat, I was like, that's the best thing I've ever watched.
And I told Randall, I was like, okay, I get it now. Because I just listened to your podcast that day, and I heard y'all talking like, he does things with a car and a rope, and I was like, what the fuck does he do with a car and a rope? I was like, does he quarter himself? Like, how does he do it? Like,
almost.
Right. And so, like, as soon as I saw him in the car and I saw the rope tied to the tree, I told Randall, I was like, oh, shit.
That shit.
Funny. When I saw that scene, I was just worried about the dog. Because, the dog, I'm like, okay, wait a minute.
What's
There's a dog in this.
I thought the dog was going to eat his head.
No. As
I
soon as
thought he was going to hit the dog or something.
No. As soon as I saw the dog, I thought it was just going to be like a sign. But as soon as I saw the dog, like afterwards coming down, I was like, he's going to find the head. He's going to find the head. That guy said they never found the head.
How good is John Locke, though, too?
I love him. I love him.
I know that's not his name, but that's how I remember him.
I don't even know that.
What's Terry O'Quinn.
Terry O'Quinn.
Oh, yep.
I know because I worked on Lost. I don't know if you know that I
do
shit. Movie posters and TV.
Yeah, I know that.
So one of my babies was Lost when it was on. I worked for.
Did you do their first poster?
I've got a bone to pick with you after I get a beer.
Baby. So I did all of them, including all the little teaser things. So that's like my most favorite show. I have to go on record saying I hated the ending, but
everybody fucking hated the ending.
I love the experience of Lost.
No, the entire experience of Lost. I love that show, and that's like because Lost is like the ultimate you fucked me show. Yeah. Like,
no, that's How I Met Your Mother.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say.
I'm in the middle of watching How I Met Your Mother. I know that Hurley's on it.
It's the fucking worst.
Hurley is on it at one point. Yeah. And it's something about a lottery ticket.
It will break your heart. The ending is so bush league.
Okay, but but it's such a good show. It's such a good show. How I Met Your Mother. It's fucking hilarious all the way to the end. It's just the ending is like, fuck you. But
I got banned from their Facebook page, Kathy,
literally.
because I wrote a sternly worded email about the ending right afterwards.
And
they blocked me.
We still watch the reruns. Like, it's a funny ass show.
I was invested,
it's a really
though.
well-written show.
Yeah.
I love that show. I love Neil Patrick Harris
All
about
of
as much
them.
as I love
All of
anybody.
them.
But
Yeah.
Neil Patrick Harris is the shit.
And Allison, but
they're all good. And then that
Eric
ending.
Marshall, I forget what it is. Oh, Jason Segel.
But so you worked on the Lost posters?
Lockton worked on Lost posters, did photo shoots with all the people. And
awesome.
You
what
did
was
photo
really
shoots
cool-
with all of them?
Jorge Garcia, the coolest person.
What about
Like, he was
Dominic
so
Moynihan? He was like,
Dominic.
he said he was the most ripped he's ever been in his life just for that photo shoot. And then when the show started, he was all skinny. Did you hear that when Chris Hardwick had him when it was Nerdist? Like, he had him on
funny.
there. Yeah, and I remember he talked about that, how he was like, the poster is so not reflective of how I was on the show.
I went back and watched.
So
We watched the opening pilot for Lost the other night because it played.
the best.
It played on Netflix
Hulu.
right after
Hulu.
right after Castle Rock.
Does it do that to you on your Hulu after Castle Rock? Does it always want to queue up Lost? Okay, yeah.
And so
it does
we
that
watched
to
the
us, too.
pilot, and going back to it, just reminded me of how much it sucked you the fuck in though from the
because
first.
it was so fucking good.
Yeah, it really
So
was.
well done.
So good.
Abrams.
So good.
So good. But it was a really hard show to. When you do posters for shows like this or any show, you do the first season and that's all well and good. Then it gets picked up for its second season and you have to come up with new art. And then you have to find out what's going to happen on the show, but they would never tell us.
Right.
But we had to do art that looked new and had to do with the show, but they wouldn't tell us what that was. So we were always like, so I try and think in my head as a fan going, what would it be? What could I put in a poster? And then it also got to where all the actors wanted to be the same size. So it became a big lineup for every poster after that, pretty much. So you're trying to
It was
figure
like
out how
a
we make it look
football
different. What do we
lineup.
think? Yes.
Because there's so many in the main cast.
It's a nightmare.
How many was there?
I
There's
think
like
that last
15
poster-
people.
I think at the finale posters was something like 30 people.
Oh
on
my
it.
Jesus.
Jeez,
Oh
man.
yeah,
I
because
was
you
like-
had to have all the like others and shit. Oh my God.
No, they made a lot of stars off that show though. Like a lot of them were beloved. Like usually there's
Josh
just
Holloway.
a handful, but Josh Holloway. I mean, they all
I'm
became
amazed
their
they're
own
not
big
bigger,
shit.
though. I'm kind of surprised that Matthew Fox.
Yes,
the-
Jake? Or Jack?
Jack.
I'm amazed he hasn't had more of a career.
I
I'm
know.
amazed. And here's Evangeline Lilly sort of came out of nowhere all of a sudden. She's in every.
Yeah, she's
Weird.
back. Isn't she having like a revitalization right now?
She was in Ant Wasp thing.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
I loved her.
Yeah, she's hot.
Is she in a Star Wars thing or something? I don't know.
Oh,
Something.
she might be.
Something big. I don't know. Something.
The weird, oh
I think
God.
Matthew Fox, his thing was his DUI. Like he had a couple DUIs and had a couple of like. And I don't think that's a reason to end anyone's career, but I think that kind of put him on like the way that Hollywood turned on him. He's kind of like, "Fuck you." You know?
I think he fucked up. I think he did some shit. Yeah. But Dominic Moynihan, I mean, Lord of the Rings.
Oh, he's
Jesus.
rich for life.
Yeah.
That was before Lost.
He's fine. Oh, was that before Lost?
They started him before Lost.
I guess they did. Yeah.
He was in that new show, something called like The 100 or.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw him pop up in something.
Susan watched that. It wasn't Justin Theroux in that or something, maybe? Or was that The Forgotten? I don't know.
We sound so uninformed. We're like, who was that? What was
Who's
that?
where? What? I don't know.
Well,
What's happening?
We don't do research for this show.
What were we
okay?
talking about? We're
No.
like, what?
I know.
well, I've got to get to this point too to
Mm-hmm.
get my last question out that I know I had to ask,
Uh-huh.
and that was your thoughts on the upcoming Halloween movie. I love. Well, actually, I've got two questions. One, your thoughts on the Halloween movie, and how awesome is it that she's Laurie Strode, right? Jamie Lee Curtis, her name's Laurie Strode in Halloween. I love the fact that in this one, it feels like she's hunting him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, I can't fucking wait. I'm shitting my pants over here. I watch the trailer every day.
yeah, I watched the trailer.
I just love the music. Like when the music kicks in that trailer, I'm like, oh my God, I love this.
I
song.
know.
Well, and
it
that
gives me
was my
chills.
second question for you, and then I'm going to let you address both of them, is because you talk about horror. That's what Cinemondo is about. That was sci-fi, horror, really anything in films.
Weird
But
movies. Yeah.
I was wondering if y'all have ever talked about how important in horror movies the score and the music is. Like, if you take that out of some of these iconic movies, they're
Friday
kind of
the
shit.
13th,
Like, they're
yeah.
not scary at all. The music is what makes me shit my pants.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and they're so iconic, some of it, because John Carpenter did the music for Halloween. So you think he did this little movie and he did the music himself, and he probably did a lot more on that movie than we even know. And then that's almost like a logo. It's a brand.
Oh.
And I remember that was one of the first real horror movie that registered for me like that, besides Last House on the Left, was probably Black Christmas. And we went to that. That's considered the first slasher movie. So out of Black Christmas was born Halloween. And then that just changed everything.
I don't think I've seen Black Christmas.
Me either. I'm writing it down.
Oh, you need to watch that.
Oh my God, we need to look on Netflix for that or something.
It's a classic too, because it's a sorority house, and then there's a guy calling them
and
killing them one by one.
Oh,
kind of like Screamish.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
before
Scream was
Scream.
definitely paying tribute, which is weird because it's directed by a guy who did Porky's. So you're like, what?
I've definitely seen
But he
Porky's.
changed the rules. It became this thing, but then Halloween came and just totally amped up everything.
Oh my God.
So good.
Halloween
it's still
just
one of my favorites.
yeah. I mean, it's just like I was thinking about that in the car the other day, actually driving back from taking Griffin home. Was the music like Halloween, Friday the 13th, and then like Psycho. Like you think about like that shower scene in Psycho where it's like that's the musical score, and like that that shit.
Friday the 13th is my shit. Like if we all talk about like our one favorite, Jason Voorhees is my guy.
Oh, Jason Voorhees is for sure your guy.
I think he wins the fight if Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger all get into a fist fight. I feel like Jason Voorhees wins. What do y'all think? Who do y'all go with? Michael Myers?
Well, okay,
I think Freddy.
I was gonna say, out of those three, Freddy's the one that's fucking supernatural.
Well, he comes in your dreams.
Technically,
He can't be killed.
he can't be killed. He's literally in your dreams.
Yeah,
Like,
so he's a cheater.
Jason and Michael are real dudes, technically, even though they get killed 1,000 times and come back to life. So they're kind of.
So can you imagine the bloodbath of Jason Voorhees and Michael Myers in a fist fight, a street fight?
But they did the Freddy versus Jason movie.
Yeah, and that one didn't.
It was a good movie.
I did. I liked it.
It was actually really good.
Win. That which I did not. I don't think I agreed.
It was. I think
Didn't
it was.
Jason win it or something?
Well, it ended in a tie, right?
It
Because
ended
Jason ripped his head off and then comes up,
He
but
pulled him into the real world.
yeah, and then Freddy's
And then
hand
he
comes out of the
reached
water in the end, though. So really, Freddy wins
It-
because the last thing that happens is Freddy Krueger's glove coming out of the water.
Yeah,
Because Kane Hodder, who played Jason in the movie, also played that Freddy hand.
that's right.
And
talked
raised
about
it.
that,
So Kane Hodder's really the only guy to play Jason Voorhees
Both, yeah.
and Freddy Krueger
That's pretty
in a
cool.
movie.
But that's why I think I like the movie. I think because I was like, this is going to be a fucking shit show. And I watched it and was like, oh, this is actually kind of good.
Well, when
like,
they took Jason to
pretty
space,
fun.
they lost me. Is when they took him to space.
yeah, and it was Busta Rhymes was in the movie with him.
Yeah, that killed me. But
They tried to do something different. It didn't.
I know.
At least they tried.
no, I mean, I love it. But I'm a huge fan of Jason. But this
Halloween,
Halloween,
though, Halloween actually scares me more than Jason.
he's killed less people though. Technically, right? Like Michael Myers, I think has only really killed like 3 or 4 people in the real storyline up until now, right? There's only like 3,
did you see
4
H2O?
girls. Well, if
Yeah.
you watch the trailer, they're talking about Michael Myers' case, and he had only killed like 3 girls.
Okay, so this is all out of okay.
This is like a direct sequel to the first movie, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think they've kind of
They're doing
pushed
it.
It's
along
like-
the
Pretending
bullshit.
the
It's
others
like-
didn't happen.
There you
Okay,
go.
okay, yeah, it's
I
as if
think.
none of the other ones happened because in H2O he killed at least half a dozen,
Because
at least.
But
But
Jamie Lee Curtis has been in a few where she was taking him down. Sometimes,
Yeah.
but they're kind of not convincing.
yeah, this one, well, and the one that Rob Zombie redid, the Halloween,
yeah,
which
with
was
Kane, where Kane the wrestler played Michael
Kane
Myers.
the wrestler, yeah, that one was
It was
God, what, like
scary.
2007?
Yeah, we watched it together. It was pretty fucking scary, but
Which is yeah, it was pretty scary, but it was kind of a what year was that even in, baby? I don't even remember.
probably around where you're saying.
But no, but I'm saying like what did it take place in? Like where was it in the timeline? I don't even remember.
No, it seemed like up to date because he was in like a psych ward prison.
It was when he escaped, like he had been captured and he escaped from a psych ward or something. And
Yeah, but
started
they're
killing people again.
bypassing all that. Like
But that's
Kathy
what,
said
like-
for this new one. Like it's like he went to prison for the original,
Yeah.
or that psych
Killing
prison.
his parents and then killing
Well,
that
it's 3
nurse or
girls.
whatever.
It's 3 girls, babysitters.
Killed
Okay.
his
If you watch the
sister,
trailer.
right? Oh boy.
I
should
know.
this.
I know. We're all fun.
Wait,
There's
he
been
did
so
kill
many
him.
movies. to cloud all of our.
I can't remember. Yeah. The only thing that worried me a teeny bit in the trailer is that the mental institution they go to, or sort of looks a little over the top.
It does look over the top
with the square thing. I know. I'm like,
don't go too far, but I'll give him the benefit.
That's not legal. Let's just be real. You can't put a person outside and say you can't leave this square. Like, they have to get exercise. Let's just be fucking real.
Well, I just wonder, it's 40 years in the trailer. It's 40 years after he committed the murder.
But why is she saying she's not his sister?
I don't know. Well, she doesn't say that. The kids say it when they're saying that's a rumor that was made up.
But I thought, doesn't she say that in the trailer, like that he's not my brother or whatever?
No, it's the kids walking down the street. They're like, it's your aunt, or grandmother.
But I thought they were saying like, no, that's a rumor.
That's what the kids were saying when they're walking. I watched the trailer tonight. They're like,
maybe she's trying not to just be my.
She's trying to say like, no, that's a rumor because she doesn't want to be associated. Okay.
Well, my gut feeling, and I wanted to see what you guys think. I want to predict how this one ends. Mm-hmm. I think it's going to end with them killing each other. What are your thoughts?
I think it's going to. Go ahead, Kathy.
They can't kill her. They can't kill Lori.
I was going to say she's going to die.
That's what they say about killing kids, remember? And you love the big balls. So what if they kill each other?
I think she's going to die in this one because she's okay. For one, Jamie Curtis, although she looks phenomenal, they make her look like a haggard old piece of shit in this movie.
She's a boss, though. You see her gun work?
Yeah, but I mean, she is.
Right.
For whatever age she is, she looks phenomenal. But in this movie, they're making her look like a fucking rundown piece of shit.
I mean, for sure.
So I'm thinking they're trying to make her look like a crazy old fucking the crazy lady on the block. So
the sister of a serial killer,
right?
Yeah, the cat lady, but she will fucking.
She looks like the cat lady from The Simpsons, kind of in the previews. But like, I feel like because they're making her look so old, they're gonna kill her. So, because it's like we can't make any more movies with this lady.
I think she's gonna be done. But would you be mad, Kathy, if they do kill each other?
I think in this day and age, they need to keep strong women apart. Oh,
for sure. I mean, well, she's the staple of it.
Agreed.
If you kill off the woman, you're just it's not really tone deaf. It's kind of like you killed your franchise.
You don't think that her daughter? You don't think her granddaughter could take the torch in this movie? Because they're making her kind of a centerpiece of this one in the trailer.
They want to bring in someone younger and prettier.
They want to bring in
which is horse. Yeah, I mean, because Jamie Lee Curtis for sure is still a boss. Everyone knows
Jamie
that.
Lee Curtis.
Phenomenal.
I buy probiotics to keep my damn bowels in check because of Jamie Lee Curtis.
I'll eat Activia all
day.
And
her Activia commercials. Because I believe her. I'm serious.
She's the finest 65-year-old lady or whatever. I mean,
and she gets it. I mean, I feel like she gets it too.
She does.
She's got a cool idea about who she is, and
yeah,
and she's not ashamed of her work in horror movies at all. And she did the Scream Queens, and I loved her even more in that because she's so great.
She was so fucking good in that.
Love
yeah. Oh my gosh, you didn't watch any of that. I didn't.
No, I have no idea what y'all are talking about. But keep on, because that's fascinating. No, seriously.
Ryan Murphy show.
Yeah,
Ryan Murphy, and it was so good.
I remember what I always think of when I see Jamie Lee Curtis is her and John Travolta doing that dance in the aerobics class, whatever movie or whatever that's shot from, where they're
Staying Alive.
I don't know. They're in the horrible, tights, and she's doing that.
Is that
crazy.
the Olivia Newton-John movie, Physical or something?
He is Get Physical.
I don't know. You can Google it. The Jamie Lee Curtis.
My phone's on.
John Travolta dance. Okay, I'll Google it for you guys.
Yeah,
it is. I can't believe neither one of y'all have seen this.
I don't know, but
you're the rom-com guy. We're the horror people,
right? I'm like
in that movie. I would watch it.
Yeah, I got no time for that bullshit with John Travolta.
Well, no, calm down. Grease is still in my top 5.
Don't come back to Grease now. No, y'all can't have any of my good movies.
Grease number 1, sir. You have Grease number 2 in your top.
Grease number 2.
He does.
I do love Grease.
He loves
too.
Grease
Michelle
too.
Pfeiffer is
because of Michelle Pfeiffer. I mean, which I get it. She's hot, but that movie is subpar to Grease 1.
Here we go. We're gonna play this, and I'm gonna let Brooke watch it and show you.
What is this?
Just watch.
I don't know if she can even see this.
Oh, yeah, I can see it. For the aerobics class. Jamie Lee Curtis.
What movie is it from?
I have no idea. I've seen that so many times.
Does it not say under it?
Perfect. The best. What the fuck? It is an aerobics class with.
Watch how she starts doing like the hunch from the 80s with all that.
What fucking movie is this from, though?
I don't know. See, I'm a winner, though. I knew this.
It is.
You got me.
Oh, and that is 80s.
Oh, it's super 80s.
You literally
That's
can't.
that leg for Jane Fonda kind of working out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's
so...
it's the 80s.
Oh, gosh, yes. All the 80s dances, but...
Well, it's like the V bottoms that are like...
Oh, but you wore tights under them.
Right.
And big leg warmers. But yeah, it had the super V crotch.
It was barely covering your vagine.
Yeah, but you had tights under.
Yeah. Good gracious. Yeah.
That does not look
What is that
comfortable.
from, though? I need.
I don't know.
It's called Perfect.
It's a perfect. I mean,
It's perfect.
I've never heard of that, baby. How did you know what the fuck that was?
Because it's been on the internet so many times. There's so many memes of that dance scene, which I called Maymays up until last year when Brooke corrected me.
It
Every time
is called Perfect. 1985 American romantic drama
see my wheelhouse.
starring John Travolta and Jamie Lee Curtis. Oh my God, I've never seen that.
Well,
babe.
I want to ask
Never.
Kathy.
The response to the film was mostly negative, and Travolta would not hear another film for 4 years. I think it was that dance sequence that did him in.
I know, he should have just stuck to the Saturday Night Fever shit.
Well, so Kathy, though, I wanted to know, what's your favorite overall horror movie? If you had to, one that is your shit.
Jaws. Jaws for sure.
Ooh,
Jaws. That's a great
Jaws.
one that I forget
Nothing
about.
Tops Jaws. It's a masterpiece on every level, and
yes.
I just think and I think we talked about this on our podcast. We may not have aired it yet. I forget which ones we've aired.
I was about to say, I haven't heard you talk about Jaws. Do you talk about Jaws?
We didn't do an actual Jaws episode.
Oh.
I think we talked about movies, but I think that movie it shows how good it is because they've done a lot of shark movies and none of them come close.
None.
You just
Not
can't
even
top
close.
this movie. They gave you a blueprint and they still can't get it right.
No,
they
that is
really
such
can't.
a good fucking point. Jaws is one of the that's an
Nowadays,
iconic one.
any shark that's made after that has almost been comical. People laugh at it because of Jaws. It set such a bar that people are like, that's fucking funny.
What's funny is that the actual shark in Jaws is comical. The it's pretty mechanical, but and so you have all this computer generated and shark, but it's it almost makes it less scary. All the technology. That movie for sure is one from my childhood too, because that's another one that my family is obsessed with. Susan has the movie poster. There's the Jaws movie poster in their upstairs sitting room. Yeah, that's one that that's iconic in our family too. It's Poltergeist and Jaws and Lost.
See, I consider the shark from Jaws to me. It was groundbreaking.
The motherfucker looked real back then. I mean, and it honestly looks more real to me than some of the stuff than the CGI one, because it was there.
Well, and to me, the shark was almost
it was physically there. It was just mechanical.
Yeah, and so the actors were so good in Jaws that they were able to almost make that shark another actor.
Yeah.
And that's why it all worked for me, because I forget all about Jaws all the time.
It is one of the best.
Up there.
And I mean, and that's that was another one that I thought of with the score that
Oh, yes.
na.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, little kids know that shit because
how many years has the story been out and people still know that song?
Exactly. That's where the score is so
How long
important.
has it been since they made a Jaws? Didn't they make a couple more after
there
the
was
original?
4 that I know of.
4. Yeah, they did 3D. I don't know.
So I know number 4 was where it was that was the last straw for me. That was the one where it was Jaws Revenge or whatever. It was the one where they were in Bermuda, Mario Peebles. And it was
Mario Van Peebles?
Van Peebles. Thank you.
Good looking cat back in the day.
It was the actual shark. Even though they blew it up, was it the shark's mom or I don't fucking know. Whatever,
Yeah.
one of the original sharks was seeking revenge on the so
that's awesome. I've never seen any of them
and
past
it was
part
made me
1.
sad.
It was
I
the
just-
mom-
poor mom shark.
I know. It was the mom, the dude's mom from the first movie. He wasn't in it because I think the actor was actually dead or something.
Scheider.
Yeah. And so it was
Scheider.
the lady that played his mom was in it and they were in Bermuda. So it was all this beautiful clear water. It was so fucking stupid. She ends up killing the shark with the bow of the boat. And it's actually the basis of the Nintendo game Jaws that I have. Remember that I was playing.
Yeah.
And we went and
You're
got
still good at it.
I know.
You and Griffin played
We
it.
went and got my old school Nintendo. My mom still had it like in a closet in their house.
My son shit his pants, Kathy, when we fired that thing up and it worked.
And
my 13-year-old, he was like, "What the fuck is this Tecmo Bowl?"
Oh, but this was like Griffin or Gunner was a baby when we got that.
Griffin was like 9 when we brought it back. And he was like, "What is this?"
And I kicked his ass. I was actually able to fucking beat his ass in all these games because I was like, "Oh, come to my world."
I'll whoop all your asses in some Metroid. If y'all want to have a Metroid match.
Metroid.
Metroid. Do you remember Metroid where you went and killed the brain?
Yes, and you rolled.
Contra they rolled and flipped a ton. Contra was awesome.
No, Contra was up, down, left, right.
That was the cheat code.
BA, start. But Metroid, all you had to do was sit down and you like turned into a little ball and you rolled.
You're right. Yeah, you could.
That's all I remember about Metroid.
I remember when me and my brother killed the brain at the end of Metroid. I've never celebrated.
It was a brain at the end of Contra, or it was a big eyeball.
Yeah, it was a brain in Metroid, and we celebrated like we just won the national championship.
No, but the
Jaws
Jaws
come a long way.
Yeah, the Jaws video game on Nintendo is literally the base. It's like the Jaws 4 because it's like and like at the end you have your boat and you're trying to like steer it to stab him with the thing, just like at the end of Jaws 4. But it's of course like shitty graphics and it's like
they'll just never top the way that they killed Jaws in part 1. I mean,
the oxygen tank and the
smile shooting him smile, or what did he say? Open up, or did he say smile?
I thought he said
smile, you son
smile,
of a bitch.
you son of a bitch. There you go. I said smile, motherfucker. It wasn't it wasn't quite that vulgar.
No, but it was plenty vulgar, and I mean, what a fucking cool
and
scene.
He's in the boat's fucking sunk.
Oh, he's on the
water.
last like couple sections.
Yeah,
he's hanging on the mast.
Oh, it was so G though. Yeah, and then him and Richard.
Like I'm weird about movies because I feel bad for monsters. I feel bad for the animals. It's like even in Jaws, I felt sort of bad for the shark, even though because he's just living his life.
He's just trying.
Well, he's just doing what's natural to him.
But he was also kind of being a terrorist. Like
you think I'm jerk, true, but
he had that whole ocean. Leave those fuckers alone in that boat. You know.
Well, that's his world, though.
You got the whole ocean.
That's his house, though.
Whole ocean.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even see like monster movies like Godzilla or stuff like that because I don't like seeing or forget King Kong. Forget it.
King Kong, that is just a.
Can't watch it.
I've never liked him. I didn't want to see Rampage. I didn't like King Kong.
Don't want to see animals getting hurt even when they're the bad guys.
King Kong, he's just misunderstood.
He's just like me, he's just a big old son bitch.
He's just a bull in a china cabinet.
Like me. Just like me.
They pulled him out of his home. Yeah. Abused him, took him there, and then they wonder why he's mad.
Exactly. Seriously. No, that one's just sad. Exactly.
Well, all the horror movies, like, what are your guys' favorite horror movies besides Poltergeist?
Lost Boys.
Well, like I said, Friday the 13th, Part 6 is my favorite horror movie of all time. That's the one where Tommy is older. It's right after the Corey Feldman. We know when they grew out of Corey Feldman, Tommy was an adult, and he goes to his grave and starts like stabbing him with he pulls that rod of fence out and starts stabbing Jason's grave after he digs him up, and then the lightning bolt hits him and brings Jason back to life.
Way to go, Tommy.
And then Tommy drowns him in the end back with the chain and the rock in the Camp Crystal Lake. Yeah. But
Crispin Glover wasn't in that one, was he?
No.
That was my favorite one, I think, because Crispin Glover is just so
Which
great.
one was Crispin Glover in?
Is it 3, maybe?
Yeah, I don't remember what number it was. Kevin Bacon was killed in what? Was it 1 or 2?
Oh, that was like one, yeah.
Yeah, young Kevin Bacon getting his fuck on, and he gets...
Did he have like the neck? Did he have the cutoff?
Oh, yeah.
Didn't he have the cutoff?
Yeah, they were all wearing the cutoff nipple shirts.
The midriff, yeah.
That was so many 80s teens getting, Jason Voorhees has a body count.
That was it? There was a Freddy movie. Was it Kevin Bacon that got killed in a Freddy movie where like up through the bed?
Johnny Depp.
Yeah. Or it was Johnny Depp.
Well, yeah, in the Nightmare, it was Johnny Depp in the first movie.
Yeah.
And then, okay. Didn't he have like a midriff shirt on too in that? Or was he?
Who cares? That was back when Johnny...
Yeah. Okay.
Dude, that's when Johnny Depp was a damn smoke show, buddy.
Dime piece. Yeah. Well, Kevin Bacon too back
Johnny
then.
Depp's just smoked his teeth away. His teeth kill me now.
Speaking of...
He's so good looking.
He smoked so many cigarettes. But yeah, my favorite all time... Lost Boys is my ultimate...
See, I almost considered Lost Boys.
The
I
romantic
don't know,
comedy.
It almost comes into my romantic comedy realm. Like, I like it. I love Lost Boys.
It's a love story.
But it's kind of more rom-com-y.
Yeah, I mean
It's sort of the hot vampire thing.
Yes, that's
where they were the bad boys and they were intriguing. You almost wanted to be part of that.
Agreed. I would
did.
definitely.
I totally did.
In that one.
Yeah, I was obsessed with Kiefer Sutherland. Never mind you, Jason Patrick.
Oh, he was the jam.
Who was the fucking blue-eyed angel?
Or the Coreys.
Well, the Coreys. Yeah, I went.
Because if you say you didn't like the Coreys, you're full of shit. Back then.
Corey
Everyone
Haim.
did.
Corey Haim.
They were cool back then.
I was gonna marry Corey Haim.
The movie Dream a Little Dream. Have either of y'all seen that?
Oh yeah, of course.
Have you seen Dream a Little Dream, Kathy?
No.
With the Coreys? See, it's more of the romantic.
License to Drive.
You've seen License to Drive, Kathy.
No. No. I don't think I have.
That's the first Heather Graham movie.
My God.
She was Mercedes.
Oh.
Well,
No.
I want. Have you ever seen?
I'm a horror girl, man.
I know.
Yeah, did you-
films
Through and through.
Christopher Lee and Dark Shadows. Like, I was never watching that.
Oh.
Did you ever watch the Rawhead Rex movies? Do you remember that horror guy?
What is
I
that?
don't really remember him though.
My brother Chris, who's a huge. I mean, Brooke knows my brother. She loves him. He's written screenplays.
Yeah, Randall's brother's way more like me than he.
Oh yeah, he's huge horror. I mean, crazy into it. But he used to make me watch these Rawhead Rex, like they were like independent horror movies.
I don't know what that is.
And he was like part man, part beast, and he just ripped people to shreds. But it was a pretty class B type movies, but he loved them.
That's
Scared
the
the shit out of me.
blend of rom-com and horror movie that I just saw recently that we're going to talk about is Near Dark. That movie.
I haven't
don't know
seen
if
it
you've
yet, but I'll write it down.
I haven't seen Near Dark.
It's
Is that a new
written
movie?
by Catherine. It was directed by Catherine Bigelow, who was James Cameron's ex-wife.
Yeah.
Oh.
And she did Zero Dark 30. She's moved on to
Okay.
bigger and better things. It was one of her first movies. Bill Paxton,
Love Bill
And-
Paxton. You sold me at Bill Paxton. Miss
right?
that guy.
So
I
this
miss
is one
him
of his
too.
first movies. He is so fucking great in
Well,
this
he's
movie.
good in
Bill Paxton's
everything.
So crazy cool. This is like when you see him, you're like, this is why I love Bill Paxton.
Oh,
He's so
he's the
great.
best.
They play like the bad boy vampires driving around in an RV but they start off with like this sort of really nice kind of love story with the kind of honey trap that the vampires send out. This beautiful girl kind of entices Adrian Pasdar. And kind of, he's kind of this redneck cowboy, and they have this cutest little like flirtation and romance, and then it all goes to shit because she's a vampire.
Because he's a vampire. By the
But
way,
they have one of the greatest scenes that happen in a bar where they go into a bar to just prey on everyone in this redneck bar, and it's just so great. I mean, it's hard to top that movie. You should definitely watch it. 'Cause you'll
It
both
sounds
enjoy
familiar.
it. It has romance and horror.
Yeah.
Well, I still
nice.
say to people every time that when we eat with people, if they're eating noodles, I say they're just noodles, Michael.
Just noodles, Michael.
With like the worms. Remember how it turned into worms? It was
Well,
so
every
gross.
time we go to hibachi, because hibachi noodles,
Those things are
they
nasty.
always look like it's just noodles,
Fermi.
Michael.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That scene
always.
still gets me.
For me.
It's just.
So what do you guys like? But tell me what you like.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Jason Voorhees.
Jason Voorhees.
She'll really do anything horror. Like
Yeah.
she's not going to turn it down. It's like
No.
she's like she'll take what she can get because I'm not as horror. So whenever I'm like, let's watch one of these, she's like, great, I'm sold.
The fact that he was willing to okay, here's how it went with Castle Rock. I started like I have to like just drop hints because like I listened to y'all's podcast and was like, oh, I listened to Cinemondo and I heard Kathy and them talking about this new show on Hulu and I saw previews for it. It looked really good. It's really good. It's about Stephen King stuff and like because I mean I know he liked it too, so I was like, there's Stephen King stuff and. It's in that town.
And you said Shawshank. You sold me on the Shawshank.
Boom, that was
link.
it. That was it.
Yeah.
I was like, because Shawshank to me, I always
Every man
fucking
loves
forget.
Shawshank.
I always forget that was Stephen King because it's in every man's top 5 or your man card is revoked.
Oh, I love Shawshank. Shawshank is
Well, that's exactly the conversation I had. It's always like, We could watch it. It shouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, I know. It is good.
See the king. How bad could it be?
Yeah, and then I was like, "Hey, there's Shawshank," and he was like, "All right, cool, whatever, I'm in."
Well, yeah, and you said, Kathy's talking about it, and I was like, "All right, let's give it a go."
Yeah.
And then John Locke rips his fucking skull off with a rope in his car, and I was like, "All right, I'll stick. I'll watch it." And then this creepy ass kid, the devil kid.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much in there. I'm looking forward to finding out. I hope they don't drag it out for years to where I can't at least solve something for me. Tell me what something really
Y'all
is.
got to talk about it on your next episode, though. Like, y'all got to all watch the new fucking episode and watch it.
So we can talk to y'all about it when we come on to do.
I know.
That's true.
We'll talk about that.
And do you watch
Poltergeist?
Yes. And do you watch The Walking Dead?
I do. I did. For some reason, I got lost in the last season. We were trying to watch it. I was getting very tired of the complete standstill of the plot.
Me too, sister.
Like, what the fuck is it?
Drives me nuts.
I was like, they're not going anywhere. Like, literally, the plot stood still. Like, they kept replaying it over and over, and I couldn't figure out. So we missed a couple episodes. I think, like, we went on vacation, we got back. I couldn't figure out where we left off, and it all looked the same. Did we watch this one? Did we watch it? I'm like, that's it. I'm done. And then when I found out Rick was leaving, I was like, that's it. I'm done. I don't need to go back.
Oh, I'm officially done. When the second Rick leaves, they can all go fuck themselves.
Okay. You guys.
I'm out. You
guys.
know that.
I know. So this is like, and I get like, so the last season, they did a whole lot of the like, it was a standstill.
They drug it out. It was a day. It was one day. The whole season was like 1 or 2 days.
It was a standstill. It was a standstill because they kept filming the same time frame from different storylines, perspectives, and so like, I mean, and the whole fact that they're like just out in the open that Andy Lincoln is like his last season. I'm like, you're fucking killing Rick, and you're just telling everybody like, like it's really annoying me. I know.
And I feel like they're keeping a lot of super annoying characters alive and then killing off characters I like. And I'm like, why are some of these characters still in the show? I hate them all. It's like, I'm telling you,
I like Carl.
You sound just like me, Kathy.
I know.
Me and you are exactly on board.
Carl really was pissing me off when he was younger. I was literally ready for like that 11-year-old kid. I was like, just go. You got to go. Because he was super annoying when he was younger. And he was awesome once he got older. And then they killed him.
Did you not like Negan, though, Kathy, when he came on and blasted some skulls?
Fuck yes.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan. God, so I was never really hating Jeffrey Dean Morgan. No,
nobody does.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Nobody does.
I loved him as a supernatural dad. I loved him on Grey's Anatomy.
Yes.
Oh, he was the shit on Grey's Anatomy.
I watch anything he does, seriously.
Me
See,
too.
I'm such a girl. That's how I know him, is from Grey's Anatomy.
Oh, Randall.
It killed me when he died. When he died, I died.
Oh, that was when
powerful.
Yeah, when Randall saw that Negan was Jeffrey Dean Morgan, that's when I got him to watch Walking Dead, really.
That's when I was fully on.
No, he was like, Denny's on this show? I'm in. Yeah. And I was like, I know, it's Grey's Anatomy. Let's tie it all in.
But no, this intro was pretty harsh. I mean,
heartbreaking.
It's one of the best introductions of a character, though. Like the way they brought Negan out is
all the build
of
up.
TV history.
Yeah,
and how he bashed their fucking brains in.
Well, and you knew
so hard to watch.
Oh my god, it was the worst.
And the build up, what they did good was that whole off season of who do you think he picks.
Oh, like and I was right.
That was marketing genius.
And that was
because I was on the edge of my seat. That whole, like, me and you both were like,
I know.
It's going to be this one. Nope, it's going to be this one.
Oh, and then I was
expect two people. That's I think where they surprised me.
Well,
I was expecting him to be one.
Yeah, it was you and Griffin that like.
I said Abraham. I felt
I
like
said
it was
Glenn.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be Abraham.
Oh, I hear a puppy dog.
That was Jones.
Is that the French bulldog?
Yes.
Oh my God, where is
he's
he?
awesome. I love when he's in the workout pictures.
Jones, come over here.
Oh my God, I want to smush his face so much.
If he comes in, I'll grab him.
I love French bulldogs.
Yeah, no. So I predicted it was going to be Glenn and Abraham, and then it was not a satisfying. I was like, I was right. Blah.
No, when they made poor Glenn's eyeball bulge out of his head, and then he looked at Maggie and said, "I'll find you."
Oh my God.
Damn.
Oh my God. I want to smush his face so much. He looks so terrified. Baby, do you see him?
Hilarious, yes.
He's like,
I'm not liking this.
He hates it so much. I love your face,
That's
Jones. Oh my God. I want a French bulldog so bad. He was like, why the fuck were you holding me like that?
I know. He's like, this is not cool at all.
His face was, he was so pissed. He was like, what the fuck? I love it so much.
He likes it, but he's all, what's that thing? And
he's like, what? You're making me do this and I don't want to. Like that's
I did not come over here for this.
Yeah. Oh, but
hey, well, I wanted to ask Kathy this too.
I know. We probably got to let you go.
I'm interrupting you guys all night. But
I know you guys do long episodes.
Well, see, now you just brought up another point. Now I got to ask you two questions. I'm full of it. First one is, do you think anyone else could ever play Freddy Krueger besides Robert Englund?
No, they tried. And that guy did a good job in that Rob Zombie movie, even though I did not like it, because I don't think we need to see everyone's childhood if they're a serial killer. I don't want to see their bad mother.
Hey, guess what? Every serial killer had the same fucking childhood.
Yeah, it was terrible.
So lame, so horrible. I thought the guy did a pretty good job, but I did not care at all about that movie's background. Don't want to. I feel like you defang your villains when you humanize them like that.
Yeah.
It's a great word, defang. That's a great way to put it. But I just don't think anyone, Robert Englund is Freddy Krueger. Like, that's the thing about Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, you can put anybody with a decent build and a big guy, Even though I think Kane Hodder is by far the best Jason Voorhees.
Oh, and he's so into it, too. He's so cool.
And he's like doing 8 feet tall.
He's a big son of a bitch.
Man.
He's got the burned neck from that stunt that went wrong. Like it's
right.
Yes, his neck kind of looks gnarly already.
Yeah. He's a super nice guy too.
Yeah, we've reached out trying to get him on the show, and his people are super. Well, he basically runs his stuff, but he's got a little group that does some of his stuff. And
that was not him that was responding.
Yeah, it was, and he does. No, I know it's his little publicist group, but they.
It's always the people. The publicists are always the worst.
It's his people.
Yeah, but. I think one day we'll get. My brother will shit his pants when Kane Hodder comes on the show. It'll be his climax. Because Kane Hodder's legendary in horror, right? Like, he's got to be. He's got to be one of the legends.
He's a staple. He's retro. He's cool. He's been in the most iconic movies ever.
Yeah.
And he's still working. Like, he's still putting out movies.
Has he ever been Michael Myers or no?
I don't know. I don't think he's been Michael Myers. He's been Freddy Krueger. He's been Jason Voorhees.
Because he's like 7 feet tall, so
he's a big guy. He's like 6
really
something.
Big.
Yeah.
I thought he was like, no, I looked it up when we were talking about it that one time. I think it was like.
I think he may have played Michael Myers because they've said he's done the trifecta. He's done 3 iconic characters. Somebody Google me.
My phone's being used.
I'm pretty sure he's done.
And I IMDb'd it when we were talking to Jody that one night. It was like, but I thought said he was like 6'10" or something, but I could.
He might be.
Talking out
so I come on here like the movie expert and I don't know anything.
Well, no, but that's
Kane Hodder. I know his name.
Well, that's my second question for you. You guys keep your podcast to it's like 30, 35, 40 minutes, right? That's where y'all try to keep it.
We try.
Is there a reason? Like, do you think that's because sometimes you guys are like.
That's the attention span of most people.
Yeah, but my commute's like over an hour.
Yeah, you guys are so like, there's times where
too.
I've been listening to y'all's episodes and y'all are like flowing and getting kind of funny. And then somebody's like, all right, we're done.
And then it ends. I know. And I'm like, what the fuck?
They're so good. But I guess it works too, because it does make people be like, well, shit, now I got to subscribe and come into the next one.
Want more.
Yeah.
We might do more. Like we might get a little longer. I know, like when we were trying to figure out podcasting, because we're new to this.
Sure.
They were saying kind of try and keep them shorter to get so people can sample a lot.
Yeah.
And, we might and our deep dives. I think we have some longer episodes coming up. They're more closer to an hour because we kind of talk a little bit longer.
Our first ones are
about
shorter
one
too.
movie.
Yeah. About what movie?
Deliverance and Green Room.
Oh, Deliverance.
Deliverance is our one coming out Monday.
Beautiful.
We just do a whole hour on that incredible film.
Did y'all do that before Burt Reynolds died?
Oh,
Yes, we just did it.
shut
He
the
died.
fuck up! You did that before he died.
Yeah, because they put him in the can.
We did
So
it last week we're like, shit.
that's incredible. Well, that's great
Well,
timing.
but that's good timing. Unfortunately,
Yeah, it's not.
Yay!
Burt Reynolds.
Not yay, but like
Dude.
that's it's
That movie, I forget to even think about that. And that's a scary fucking movie.
squeal like a pig. Oh
Dude.
fuck that shit. Yeah.
You know what else? He's in Hatchet. That's some of the coolest.
Yeah.
movies.
Oh, I was just like,
I loved Hatchet 3 was insane.
so I'm scrolling through his shit on Wikipedia. It's so long.
Oh, he was a stuntman
So
too.
long.
He was a stuntman first, so he's done everything.
Literally
Everything. There's no Michael Myers shit
Okay,
though that I'm
I may have been
saying.
wrong.
Yeah.
So
I
that
was
was him. He saw the Hatchets too. Hatchet 1.
all of them. Yeah.
Well, so what was y'all's? I don't want to take away your episode, but so who thought of doing Deliverance? 'Cause that's a great
we
call.
all sit around and kind of come up with the movies we think are kind of, they're not necessarily always horror, but they're kind of in a
No,
vein
but
of like disturbing or
Deliverance
and I
is
think
just
Burke
fucked up.
is just sort of our retro guy. He comes up with the older movies.
Yeah.
Mark and I are a little bit more like, I want to see extreme horror, contemporary.
Yeah.
Give me the gore. I want to see martyrs. Even though
What
I
about
only
like?
one time.
Did you like? What are your thoughts on like House of a Thousand Corpses?
Trashy. I don't
Thank
know.
you.
I'm
Okay.
annoyed by that. I couldn't get
I never watched
Okay.
it.
So like that's one that like I felt like I had to watch because I love horror movies and stuff.
Exactly
So
the same.
yeah, so like I watched it and I was like, I don't like this. I don't. This is not necessary. This is just it like, and that's like kind of. And I like Rob Zombie as like I know he's like a big horror buff too, but he seems to just go over the top. Like it doesn't. I don't.
Well, that's his personality. That is Rob Zombie's
so like
MO.
the gore does it. It was just extreme gore.
Which is fine.
It's fine, but like
Which is fine, but it was stupid, and I don't like crazy family ones. Like I'm just annoyed by crazy families. That's not a horror genre I really like.
Well,
Like,
so
I
what'd
don't
you
see a
think
bunch
of Texas
people yelling
Chainsaw?
And the gross mom and there's what? Ugh,
Well, so did you
like the new Texas Chainsaw
have y'all
Massacre,
talked about
though.
Texas Chainsaw yet, or are you going to?
we have not.
The
No,
original.
we haven't. The original is fantastic, but the crazy family at the end, he only didn't do them for too long. It wasn't the whole movie, and that's why it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got in there, you met the family, you got the fuck out.
But
No,
then the
that
new one with
original-
with
the
Jessica Biel
original-
and shit though.
Yeah, but that original where they're sitting at the table and the old fucker and then he hit the girl with the hammer, like fucking disturbing.
So disturbing. Sometimes violence is the little thing that's the worst. Like,
Oh,
when you watch
100%.
Evil Dead is when they cut the Achilles tendon. Ah,
Oh,
so
well,
nasty.
in the new one with Jessica Biel, when they're dragging her down that basement and her fingernail comes out in the concrete, that
That's
right
such a
there was
great
the moment where I was like, I'm about to have an anxiety attack.
What about when they hung the dude
Right
up on the
now.
meat hook?
It was the fingernail. It's kind of like what Kathy said, though.
And he's
the
still
little,
alive.
Yeah, but that little thing, like that
relatable
fingernail.
violence. Like
Yeah.
the little, that's what Hostel did so well too. They did so many little creepy torture things that you
That-
can relate to. Ugh.
Hostel, that shit, that's the kind of things that like, it just makes my stomach turn.
Hostel was fucked up.
Hostel's really fun.
Fucked up. Which Hostel, and so like, I don't know if you listened to our Richard Tillman episode, but he did like I don't want to say low budget, but
No, he did it. It's a B-class horror movie that's been made. They've made like 4 of
Rest
it.
Stop
Yeah.
2?
Yeah, he did Rest Stop 2.
I like Rest Stop.
Yeah, he did part
Rest
2.
Stop and Wrong Turn are both decent.
Yeah, Rest Stop 2, and he's the star. in it.
For what they are.
Rest Stop 2. No, that's what I'm saying. Like Rest Stop 2, it was like a low budget horror film, and
I
it
loved
was
it.
our buddy Richard Tillman was like the star in it, and dime piece.
I'm about to run
Not
away
bad
with
to
Richard
look at.
Tillman. No, me and him are going to run away together.
It's Randall's boyfriend, but good gracious. And it was like Randall watched the whole thing beginning to end, and I was enthralled. It was fun.
Well,
like,
see,
it
I
was
like
just,
when there's a religious twist.
Oh,
like, 'cause
crazy religious
yeah,
people?
crazy religious people scare the shit out of me because they're so
God,
nutbaggy.
yes.
Like, it's
my
as
gosh,
scary
no.
as anything. When you get like a super religious, that creeps me the fuck out.
It's valid. Oh, this is crazy religious people scary.
Yeah. And you see the justification for the violence and that they feel righteous, and that to me is really scary because they're not even being a psycho
Exactly.
or like a serial killer. They're just like finding their way to violence by making excuses and wearing a veil of religion. And it's like, bye-bye.
Well, so are you into serial killers the same way that Brooke is? Like, she's fascinated by them.
So obsessed.
I'm fascinated by them.
Right
You know,
now,
that's funny.
she's Ted Bundy right now, like all in on him.
He's one of the best. You know, I hate to say this, he's the best.
Yeah,
I know.
That's the creepy,
Roast
weird
people
sound,
right
but
now.
I get it. But everybody's
I'm
like,
bored of them.
fucking
like, I
weirdos.
want to see these. Like when I see a podcast, we're like, oh, Ted Bundy, Ed Gein, and Jeffrey Dahmer. I'm like, I've seen and heard all these.
I
so
know,
many times.
I know.
That's, I think, you saw Mindhunter, I assume.
Oh, of course we did.
So great,
God,
right?
I binged that whole thing in a day.
Ed Kemper.
Obscure serial. Ed Kemper's one of the creepiest guys.
Oh my God.
Dude, what? That guy that played him should have gotten the most prestigious acting award.
I follow him on Twitter now, Cameron Britton.
Yeah, that dude should be the most
His
critically
name's Cameron
acclaimed
Britton.
actor
You should
of all
follow
time.
him on Twitter. He's so cute. He's He looks like the sweetest, like teddy bear guy, but he plays Ed Kemper on Mindhunter.
Ed Kemper was supposed to be very sweet and teddy bear like until he wasn't.
Until he fucked his mom's dead corpse head.
Fucked her face off.
Oh my God. Yeah.
He was awesome.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I can't wait for their follow-up season 2, but I'm worried it's going to be a letdown.
No.
How can you beat that perfect first season?
We binge watched that.
David Fincher, dude. He's the best.
I hope so.
I have full confidence. Yeah, we binge
I'm all
watched
in.
that last October, and then when it was over, Randall was like, "What,
Dude,
we have
let
to
me
wait till
tell you,
October?"
Kathy, this was my introduction
What?
to Netflix, right? Like I'd never watched anything, and I didn't know what binge watching was. And I think I was like sick one day, and it was the day me and you took off, and we're just laying in bed and stuff. Yeah,
I take off every Halloween,
and
he
we binge watched it, and then I was like, "Oh fuck yeah, I can't wait! This is great. Season 2 will be out next month, right?" And she was like, "No, it's a whole year." I was like, "Fuck Netflix." They said somebody should have told me that I've got to wait a year. I'm
like-
so pissed.
I was like, "Yeah, that's how this works, baby."
No one told me. I'm still bitter about
If
it.
you want more. You know what's funny about that show too is that they did not show any killings. They didn't show any violence. They just talked about it.
they just
And
talked
I thought
about
that
it.
was such an interesting choice.
Uh-huh.
So great because hearing them talk to the guys and hearing the responses and supposed to seeing it happening, such a classy way to go.
No, I felt like
but
it was
still
it was
creepy. Like
groundbreaking,
it's
though.
still,
Like,
it still gets in your head just as much. Like the whole description that the girl was saying about that one girl in the bathtub and like dying, and it was like you get it, you get the whole picture in your head, but like you didn't have to see it. Like it was so good.
well, it's like the Unabomber show that we watched.
That was great too.
on
wasn't
Netflix.
It was very similar to Mindhunter. Very
yes.
Yeah, it was super well done and
What was
totally.
that called?
Well, have you
American
watched have you
Manhunt.
watched Dark
It's called
Tourist?
Manhunt.
similar. I
Yeah.
haven't.
Dark Tourist. The first
I get worried
episode.
about those that are going to have gross food stuff or animal stuff.
Well,
so I
no,
don't
the
watch
first
those.
episode is great. They show, and I know you just said you're kind of tired of the celebrity serial killers because this one's about Dahmer, but they bring this girl that's kind of like a
Yeah,
Dahmer super fan, not in a creepy way, but she's like you
Same
guys.
way we are. Yeah.
How could you not be creepy?
and she gets to hear these unreleased tapes from Dahmer's attorney that have never been aired. And Brooke was like foaming at the mouth
I was like, "What the fuck? I want to hear that."
during that episode because it was stuff no one's ever heard of him. He's just Dahmer was so creepy to me because he admitted he was a fucking loony bag, said he would kill people, not let him out.
So nonchalant.
And it was so cold, but he was honest about it.
Ted Bundy said that too, by the way. He was like, "Of course you can't." Like in the interviews right before he got executed, he's like talking about certain characteristics and like things that happen. He's like, "Of course you can't ever let me out."
Yeah. Yeah, but he was a fucking liar the whole time. He lied. Dahmer just came right. Like that's why the Dahmer thing's kind of a shame in a way that he got killed because he had so much information to give.
That's what Brooke said. That's the
As
same
a
thing
case
Brooke said.
study, because he talked openly about. I mean, whether a lot of it was self-justifying, but at the same time, it's fascinating. Look into someone's mind.
Yeah.
and then now it's.
We could have
He was-
learned a lot
He was
from
willing
Dahmer.
to just let you know everything that's going on in his head. Like, yeah, I've said that multiple times that like Ted, for any serial killers that have been in prison that are now dead, like I just, for the scientific,
It's
like,
wasteful.
yeah, like, and Dahmer just got murdered. In
Oh, he
prison.
got some prison justice.
Yeah, no, Bundy got
Yeah.
fried in the
No,
electric
Dahmer
chair.
got like ripped to shreds by a fellow
No, he just got
prisoners.
beat to death.
Yeah.
Exactly,
Shanked.
beat
He
to
got
death.
shanked.
He got him and another person, but he was the main target. But the poor fucking other soul was like just a.
He wanted to die though. He wanted.
Yeah.
To die. That's why he wanted to go out in public.
I think he associated himself with Dahmer so that he could get fucking.
Well, what Dahmer was so fascinating to me was that he kind of encapsulated like the total package of a serial killer: the cannibalism, the trying to make a zombie, the gay, the murderous,
Everything.
all of it. Like he covered every base.
Every base.
He hit every note.
Everyone.
He's the
He
all
was a
star.
serial killer superstar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see My Friend Dahmer, that movie?
You know, I was kind of afraid to see. I saw one Dahmer movie, so grim. You know, that stuff.
You
when
should watch
hear
My
about
Friend
it,
Dahmer, though.
It was
maybe I'll
good.
watch it.
It was
The
good.
actor was really good in it. Yeah, I'll
It was
watch
actually not. It made me kind of like.
It made you feel bad for
It
him.
made you like kind of like Dahmer as a like. I mean, and feel bad for him as a because
Well, they humanized him, right?
yes, because it was literally written by like the guy that was friends with him in high
comic
school,
book.
and
Did a comic book on him.
yeah, and it came close to getting
Almost
offed
got
by
murked.
him, but like, yeah, I mean, it really shed some light on like his fucked up family life. That they're like, no, everything was great. We loved him so
That's why
much.
we just abandoned him. Just left, moved, and didn't tell
Yeah.
him. That's why how much we loved our
Right.
son.
What do you mean? We were great.
What?
No, we got divorced because we fought all the time and wanted to kill each other. It's fine.
Well,
it
then
happens
his
every
friends
day.
in high school like
Ah.
treated him like a mascot almost. Like they took advantage of his
He found a way.
awkwardness.
Yeah, he found a way to make them laugh in a weird way, like just acting silly. And so then, like, yeah, they would like put him out on display for everybody, and it was just. It makes you feel bad because like anybody that was like that awkward kid in high school, like that tried to like be the funny one, like me, and like you know, like
Were
hey
you
guys,
the funny kid in school?
right? Yeah, I was like,
you?
hey, yeah, I was like, hey, I make
Oh.
good grades, but like I don't want to be the nerd, so like I'm gonna be funny, and yeah,
I made this one.
yeah.
I
I was,
stayed out of the frame.
I just like
Well, it's what's so funny, Kathy, because me and Brooke
I
are so
straddled
different.
that line for sure.
You know,
Popular dude in school.
I was just an athlete.
He
and
was
I
the quarterback of
quarterback.
fucking football team,
Oh,
and
fuck you.
I know.
I know. Oh, that's what's so great about our
I
story
know.
that I love about our love is that a lot of people that know us were like, "Holy God, y'all couldn't be more different." And that's why
I would
it
have
works,
hated him
though.
so much
like,
in high
it
school.
balances us out so good
I know.
where we're so different.
Yeah, I know. Well, and he's so sweet because I'm like, I would have fucking hated your guts in high school because I'm so insecure.
I
and,
would have
like,
still thought you were super hot.
I know. And see, he's so sweet. He's like, I would have still found my way.
I would
to
have
you.
come out and found you and been like, "You got to stop smoking cigarettes, though. That's ridiculous. That's just dumb. You don't even look right
What
smoking
about
cigarettes."
weed, though?
I would have been like, "That's crazy too. Let's quit all the bad habits and let's do some physical exercise together. Let's exercise, baby. You
I
got
know.
serious potential if you'll quit wearing the huge raver pants."
Yeah.
That you're the jock with a heart of gold, and that does not happen.
And
in real life.
yeah, he's literally like a movie character that would have never. That's why we couldn't have gone to school together in real life because
Yeah.
the world would have just exploded.
It would have exploded. Or, I mean, we
The
sound like a.
universe would have imploded.
I know it's just not. It's not possible because all the quarterbacks in my high school were fucking assholes.
What was the Freddie Prinze movie with him?
She's
and
All That.
She's All That. There we go. That would have
You knew
been.
that instantly.
I used to love that movie.
I
for
still
some
love that
reason.
movie.
Yeah. That was
and
literally.
I
one
don't
of my
feel
favorite
bad about
movies.
saying it. I love rom-coms.
I love
Right.
the John Hughes movies. I do
Love
those.
John Hughes.
Well, Breakfast
kinda
Club is
wonderful.
also in one of my top 5.
How can it not be?
Lost Boys,
Footloose.
Grease.
Footloose. Shut your mouths if you both don't love Footloose.
Footloose isn't in my top 5.
Laurie
It's a
Singer?
good movie though.
Oh, y'all are fucking killing me.
It is a good movie, but it's not in my top 5.
Well, where's Roadhouse sit for you, Kathy?
She's not a man.
You know,
Doesn't matter.
Roadhouse doesn't rate for me yet. I want to see it. We actually talked about this. I've been hearing a lot. Like people keep bringing it up. I don't know why it's come up a lot lately.
Probably because Ronda Rousey's remaking it.
No, they
Oh, that's
axed
probably
that.
it.
No, they axed that.
They did?
Yeah.
Oh.
They axed that. It's
Oh,
not
they
being
did?
done.
It is a classic Patrick Swayze though. Like
Patrick Swayze's the shit.
he's of course the shit. Dirty Dancing?
Dude, Dalton is one of the greatest cinematic characters of all time.
It's like he was Steven Seagal before Steven Seagal in that movie.
And he was handsome. Where
But
Steven
way
Seagal
The guy wants to be, I guess.
way
right?
more handsome than
The
Steven
bad
Seagal.
boy that everybody wants to be.
Yes.
Who's
with,
sort of bad, but not
with
really
the
bad.
hair and the
super 80s hair.
muscles.
Yeah. Patrick Swayze was the shit. I listened to his autobiography on audiobook, right after he passed, that him and his wife did.
God.
So
and
fucking sad
He
how
narrated it.
Yeah, when he died of pancreatic. That sucks, man.
Dude, that was terrible.
Brutal. Makes me sad. That's why, like with Burt Reynolds, I hate it because I love fucking Burt Reynolds. That dude is a survivor of Hollywood. I mean, in every way, he's been all the way to the bottom. He's been all the way to the top, back to the bottom. Boogie Nights,
and
back to the top.
Much bad stuff about him either.
He's just
There's all this men behaving badly stuff, and he isn't really in there anywhere.
He's just always been chilling.
Yeah, well, he's been one of those, like, his exes still were kind of like, you know what, I can't really bash him.
Yeah.
He's just Burt, and still actually think he's cool.
Yeah.
You know, he gets along, but he always said Sally Field was the one that got away.
Yeah, of course.
He always said that.
Well, we all like them together in those movies.
Of course. God. I know. Smokey and the Bandit.
Bandit, man, that hurts. You know,
no, when I first saw it on the internet, I was like, this is fake. But it was CNN that popped up on my phone, and I was like, God damn it. CNN.
I know. I was like, wait. I wanted to check all these local pages. They're not talking about it. They're not talking about it. Let me check TMZ because they get everything first.
Oh, yeah.
I really wanted it to be
did
fake.
y'all both
but he
watch...
was 82, so I mean, it's not like...
Yeah, he was old. Did y'all watch Boogie Nights, though?
My dad's about to turn 79.
Did you watch Boogie Nights, right? When it came out?
Yes. Yes.
Well, so when it came out, I was like, holy shit, Burt Reynolds is back. Like, that was his, like, holy shit. Where's Burt Reynolds been since 88? Like, where you been? And it just fucking was awesome to see him relaunch.
But he's been producing and directing shit, like...
Yeah.
But what he was cool about was Burt always liked to make movies with his buddies. He always said that, like, he turned down some of the biggest roles.
Which is why he made a movie with Mark Wahlberg, who that's all he does, is make movies with his buddies. Does Mark Wahlberg make movies with anybody but his buddies?
In my opinion, he made the only really good Mark Wahlberg movie, Boogie Nights. That's the only... I mean, I don't want to dog Mark Wahlberg. He's awesome.
Stop.
But that was the only time I've seen Mark Wahlberg act worth the fuck, to me, was in Boogie Nights.
What else he's been in?
Transformers?
Yeah. Pain and Gain with The Rock.
No, that boxer one.
Oh, yeah, we played Mickey Ward.
The boxer.
Yeah.
Wasn't it the boxer?
Yeah, about Mickey Ward.
Was that with Christian Bale?
Yes. And Christian Bale outclassed him like a motherfucker.
For fuck's sake, he did. He was his, like, crackhead brother. He was Mickey Ward.
No, he's Mickey Ward's brother. Mark Wahlberg was Mickey Ward.
Oh, I thought Christian Bale was
No,
Mickey
Christian
Ward.
Bale was his older brother, who was a crackhead who used to be a boxer.
Uh-huh.
And he played him, of course, perfectly.
And, like, Oscar-worthy fucking performance to him, yeah.
Because Christian Bale will lose 100 pounds or gain 200 pounds.
Well, yeah, the machinist.
No, the machinist is scary just for visually.
That I hate watching that just because of what he looks like.
Me too.
He got to like 120 pounds. Like, that's less than I weigh.
He couldn't have been far from death at that point.
He wasn't.
There's no way.
Yeah.
He wasn't.
I love some Christian Bale, though. That dude, despite him sounding, some people say he's hard to work with.
Oh,
but
I'm sure he's an asshole.
Super
I'm sure he's a
talented.
fucking raging piece of shit to work with. But that's what, like Daniel Day-Lewis. You think he's a fucking barrel of monkeys?
No, he can't be a... Daniel Day-Lewis cannot be a peach. There's no way he's a peach.
He doesn't come out of character.
No.
So depending on his character, you're like,
Yeah,
That's what
like
they say
De Niro method.
Well, that's what they say about
actors.
Andrew Lincoln is method. He's Rick Grimes.
Yeah.
On all the time on set. He's Rick Grimes.
Well, that accent, you almost have to, so you don't slip into
Right?
your British.
How
Half
come?
the
How
fucking people
come?
on Walking Dead are British.
How
though.
come
Maggie,
British people,
Morgan,
Kathy?
Rick.
Yeah, how come British
Jesus?
people can do American accents so easily, Kathy, and Americans do shitty British
We sound like
accents?
assholes.
I know, right? How do they do that? What? I don't understand it.
Because then you hear like a pop singer, right? They sound perfectly American. And then in the interview, they're like, "Good day, mate." They're Australian as fuck.
Well, any
It's so
singing.
disorienting.
Yeah. Like Celine Dion. She's fucking
Well, she's a powerhouse
weird
champion.
Canadian, French, Austrian, whatever the fuck
What
she
is a winner. And
yeah.
one of the greatest of all time.
But like sings no accent.
No.
Yeah.
She is a
Does anybody
beast, though.
sing with an accent?
Nobody does. It's for some
No,
reason.
it goes away.
It's a neutralizer.
Yeah.
But the talking isn't. And British people can just pick up on that English.
But every fucking buddy on Walking Dead is British, basically. And even on Fear the Walking Dead,
Yeah.
the dude that played Nick, Alicia, like,
yeah.
it's insane. The numbers, like, it way outweighs anybody American.
Oh, that's kind of funny. You know, you bring up Fear the Walking Dead. Not to change the subject.
No, there is no
Remember the very
subject.
first episode when the thing is just starting to happen, and the kid's wandering around the street. He goes to that church.
Yeah.
And
well, that's what his like heroin den.
Right. That's where I live. I live
Shut
in
the
that
fuck
neighborhood.
up. Shut
so
the
we
fuck
live right
up.
down the street from that scene.
Wow.
You live there now?
Yes.
That's awesome.
We were going by that church, and we're like, man, they should do some of this church. It looks like shit. It's got a big fence around it, and there's like trash everywhere, and it was just a set.
And it's because they were about to film
They
the Fear the Walking Dead?
Yeah.
Yes.
So they
Shut
blocked
up.
our street. Really fun.
And that's
So
where
we're
he got hit by a car too. He like Nick walks out. Did you see? Yeah. You didn't watch it. It's okay.
No, I don't watch Fear
I
the
only
Walking
watched the
Dead.
first season. It wasn't. I didn't like it.
Well, Nick's dead now, and so is Madison. So like his mom. I mean, it's really.
But Morgan's on it now, right?
Yeah, but he's trying to go back to Alexandria. He's trying to get back to Virginia right now.
Which he should do, because it's the better group.
It's driving me nuts. Like, I mean, it pissed me off when they killed Nick because the actor said he wanted to go do other things. And it's like, cool, you're a good actor, whatever, fine. Yeah. And then Madison, who's Kim Dickens, Deadwood is starting again, or there's a Deadwood movie coming or something. So they were like, oh, fuck, we got to get her off the show. So they killed her off. She was like the Rick of Fear the Walking Dead, and they fucking killed her off. And then so it's all, like my whole world is crumbling because now they're just killing all the main fucking characters of everything. Which Fear was kind of
all these damn actors.
I know. I'm like, can you not just stick with? Something?
No, I'm with you. I wish actors just realize, because I feel bad for them, because acting is such a hard, obviously, job and a career to stay relevant.
Right.
So I get when a guy like Rick Grimes or Andrew Lincoln wants to
It's
move
been
on,
10 years,
but why would you leave your money wagon though? Like that,
But they got the money wagon set up.
But they got it hitched.
And they're done. They don't need it.
Yeah.
Syndication.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's going to be in syndication.
They
forever.
play reruns of that shit all the time.
Well, yeah. So he's like, I have all the money in the world. Let me do something I want to do besides one character for 10 years.
Yeah, but then he's going to go and audition for all this stuff, and they're going to be like, "No, you know what? You're Rick Grimes. You're too Rick Grimey. You'll always be."
The role because he's Rick.
He should.
He'll probably go to theater. They always seem to go off and do theater.
Yeah, he will. He is like a
Very
theater trained
true.
actor. But Kat, before we go, I really did have to ask Kathy another thing. I wanted to ask her about. Have you ever been into comic books? Are you guys into any comic book movies on your show?
Burke, when you guys are on our show, you guys can talk the hell out of comic books.
Sweet.
Yes, for sure. And also lots of Japanese. Like,
I don't know anything about that.
Japanimation. I used to be into that a lot, like Dragon Ball Z and like Floating House of something.
I just like Wolverine and Deadpool.
I know. Floating House. It's been a long time.
Those are good. You get Marvel.
I know.
They're always good. I hope we're not boring your audience. I feel like we didn't talk about anything kinky or anything.
God, no. There's no need. We cover everything here. We're wide open. Been plenty of profanities. But I did. What you do artwork, obviously. So do you paint too, like Brooke does?
My husband does. He's a great painter. But
yeah, I've seen some of his stuff. He is awesome.
I am full on into Photoshop and art that way. That's what I do.
Okay.
It's my job, so I do it all day. So I don't have. The podcast is the most artful thing I have room for in my brain.
Hey, well, it's a good way to.
Computer art is art too. I mean,
of course,
making shit look pretty.
Exactly.
You got to be able to visualize and then make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I love movies and TV so much that the idea of doing posters for it is really cool for me. So I get into it, like, what can it be? And you get in Photoshop and you do all this stuff.
You want to make it like mysterious of like what can I put on here that's going to make people intrigued and
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, see what chaps my ass about my wife here, and I'm gonna run right over her with the bus right here, Kathy.
Oh, here it goes.
Is she's such a talented painter, drawer. I mean, it just happens for her, right? Which I'm so jealous of because I'm dog shit. But she doesn't ever do it. It's crazy. She's just so talented.
It's hard to do. It's a lot of
work. It takes
time.
time.
Brain
Yeah. Oh, I can only imagine.
I know.
Yeah, she's painting. Her the ones I posted of hers, like the koi fish and the frog. Like her frog, that's my favorite. That weird little frog painting that I posted. The pictures of the other night.
Yeah.
I love that frog.
I know you do. Yeah.
I like the koi fish too. The seal is cool. I mean, they're all good.
Yeah.
I can't draw I can only draw dicks.
I'm going to ask you, what is this? I could not Google it because I was afraid to. What does bulldogging your nuts mean?
See, I
I know someone asked you, but you didn't really explain it. So what is it?
Well, I don't want to sound bad because really, I don't know.
It's pushing them out the back.
Yeah, I know that. I'm saying the technical, like what it's used for, but I've just heard it said before, and it's awesome. But supposedly, if you tuck your shit between your leg, kind of like old dude on Silence of the Lambs, which we didn't cover.
Okay.
Like on RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah, you tuck it back there, but then you bend over, and supposedly it looks like a bulldog's face.
There you go. You have a bulldog.
Oh, no, I thought it was bulldog's nuts.
No, when you bulldog yours back through, if you bend over, like in the movie Waiting where they bat wing, but you don't bat wing, you just point it. Supposedly it looks like a bulldog. I don't know. Never done it.
You're just doing the whole gesture.
But so now we got to ask Kathy about Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, Silence of the Lambs. Okay, yeah.
How great is that movie to you, Kathy?
Fantastic, but you know what? The Lambs, I think they did a great job on Hannibal.
Oh, of course they did. Hannibal was great.
That show is probably the best thing I've ever seen.
Oh.
Besides Twin Peaks: The Return. But it's probably one of the coolest things. And Mads Mikkelsen totally nailed it.
Oh, I was talking about the movie Hannibal. Didn't they do a movie Hannibal?
There was a movie Hannibal. I didn't see the show Hannibal either, and we need to.
Or wasn't it called Red Dragon or something, the book?
Well, there was Red Dragon Hannibal in it, but it's not actually Hannibal. Then he did a book, Hannibal, about Hannibal's like history, how he became Hannibal.
Yes.
Yeah.
With the pigs and shit.
Yes.
Oh my God. Yes, I did.
So the Hannibal show kind of touches on all these things that, and they do it in their whole unique way. It's a beautiful, incredibly gorgeous show. You got to
See, I've never heard it. So what is his background? Because I've never watched anything about Hannibal besides Silence of the Lambs.
Watch it.
We just need to watch it. Yeah, we just need
There's
to watch
only
the
so
show.
much room in my head. I'm already watching Castle Rock.
We can't,
Y'all are stretching me.
There's no cliff notes,
Castle Rock's
baby.
almost over.
Yeah, but that show's going to go for 10 years. I can already tell you. There's too much of storylines, like capabilities.
No, and how many fucking Easter eggs are in that show, by the way? And I'm shitting my pants every time they do one. I'm like, Randall, did you hear that? He's like, what?
I just want to know.
The whole clips on the like rabid dog ravages through when he was going through the file.
That.
And I was like, oh, did you see that? Did you see that? And Randall's like, what? I'm like, did you? He doesn't get excited.
I just want to know how many years old.
Not.
How many years old is Pennywise? The guy that plays Pennywise, that kid in Castle Rock. How old is he?
He's like 30.
No, I'm talking about in the show. He's been alive for like 70 years and never aged.
He probably did. Right?
Yeah, I want to know, like the exact age and why he doesn't age.
That's one of the puzzle pieces.
That's it. You don't know. That's the thing.
Well, see, it's going to end up being stupid, and then I get hurt again, like I was at the end of Lost. I don't want to get hurt again, Kathy, is what it is.
If they end up at a church in the end of the show, I will.
If it's purgatory, I'm fucking lighting everything on fire.
I will light.
Walking into the light, I will throw my TV out.
I will burn this motherfucker to the ground.
I'm never watching TV again if it fucking is.
If they don't answer every one of my
If there's
questions.
a smoke monster, I'm done.
Well, there's 2 seasons. They've already renewed it, so they might leave a few pieces just to.
Well, they're gonna have to because I need another season. They can't just do one season of this because there's so many questions and so many fucked up things.
Done. I mean, a lot of the people did Mad Men and Breaking Bad. I mean, it's such a well done.
No, it's
show.
beautifully shot. The way they shoot that city to make it so shitty is beautiful. Like,
and
it's
all
crazy.
the actors are like, good God, could you get more fucking A-lister like hitting them out of the park actors? Like
Sissy Spacek. When I saw that, I was like, really? What the fuck? Man? She's a beast.
They're busting out.
Her nose.
Even she was an Easter egg. The fact she's in this.
The fact that it's Sissy Spacek. Like
Sissy Carrie is in this.
Carrie and she's fucking crazy. She's losing her mind.
Oh,
bless her.
She blows my mind. Man, she's been a pretty lady for decades.
She looks the same.
Oh, look, here's my husband.
Oh, dear husband.
There he is.
I'm behind you guys on drinking as we just started. It's only 7. It's almost 8 here. So.
Yeah. We started. It's definitely earlier for them. It was like 6 when we started, right?
For that,
9 o'clock here, 6 there.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. So he's probably like,
when you guys are on our show, we'll have a long episode.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be awesome. I can't wait to come on and talk about.
Yeah. What time are we gonna have to? I mean, we're gonna.
We can do later night to make it. We'll appease them. We're going on their show, so we got to follow their rules.
Yeah, so it's going to have to be later at night for us. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We'll already be drunk.
It may not be that much later. It's boring for our podcast audience.
I know.
To do, but we record during the day, so it won't even be that late for you, so you can get a good time.
No, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be
It'll
awesome.
be fun.
Oh, look, John's.
Well, yeah.
laying down
So
on
does
your
Chad still paint and stuff?
Oh, yes, you should definitely.
That's his
you
job,
should
isn't it?
Be friends with him. You should follow his Instagram because, no, he does the same thing I do, but that's his dream.
Oh, fucking awesome!
His
Right
paintings
on.
are great. Yeah, he's changing his whole style now too, and the stuff's really cool.
See, I'm so jealous of
Chad Robertson at Chad Robertson Instagram.
It's fun. I won't
think I
follow
do.
him,
I think I
or
do
I will
follow
on
him.
our Married AF one. Follow him because
Yeah, I
I'm
think
so
I do.
jealous of artists, right? Because I'm so not artistic, and I'm okay with admitting that.
But
Like
you're-
I'm jockey, I get that. I'm a big guy, I get
But Randall
that.
he's so naturally athletic. He can be like, what sport is this? What is this? Oh, weird. I'm automatically awesome and first place in everything.
God.
Like, that's how he is. So then he's like,
That's your talent.
Right.
Well, of course, and
Exactly. But
so-
then he's like, but I can't draw. And I'm like, deal with it. Because you're.
I can draw, but I can't make music. You know, it's like I wish I
Right.
could make music, but I can't do that. So we all artists, everybody who's a talent wants to do another
Exactly.
thing.
yeah, I just
I
really
should
appreciate
ask you,
it.
how do you build muscle? My husband is trying to figure out how to bulk up. You
it's-
gotta talk about this.
Hey, I'm going to tell you, it's
How do you
probably
bulk up?
when you're a leaner person.
Yep.
Adding weight is the hardest thing on earth. It's easier for like a chubbier person to tone down and show muscle than it is for like a naturally leaner guy to pack on beef. They got to work a lot harder. It sucks, but it is like
'Cause he's in
hypertrophy.
really good shape and doing all the weight stuff, and he just cannot build the bulk.
Yeah, it's hard when you're like he's a taller, leaner. I mean, he looks great. He's in good shape. I've seen plenty of pictures. You guys are both rocking the hard bods, which is thumbs up to both of you.
We love it. We do it every day.
Yeah, I've seen some of your like yoga lifting where like you're in different positions
Yeah,
would
Randall's
break
not
me
doing
in
that.
half.
Yeah.
I'm the opposite of flexible.
Well, you do lighter weights on that.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, you just can't move my body. You know, my body is so
he's like
calcified.
He's the perfect analogy. Have you ever seen Big Bang Theory where like Sheldon tries to go running with Penny? Oh, god damn
I've
it.
never watched that show. I'm going
Fuck.
to though.
Where like he goes like Penny's like, you need to stretch, and he does like,
She tells him to touch his toes.
and he literally does like this.
He just points to his toes.
He looks down and he's like, I'm going as far as I can. Like, that's Randall. That's how flexible he is.
I am never been flexible. Chad's not flexible. We do yoga maybe once or twice. This is so fascinating for your audience, I'm sure. We do yoga maybe once a week, but it's really hard. But I feel like the more you do that, the more flexible you get. And it's years, and I'm still not that flexible. But I feel the lengthening of the hamstrings definitely has helped.
Well, no, every therapist for like
Definitely try.
when I had my neck surgery and all that, every
Right.
doctor was like, dude, you need to, I know it sounds weird, but you need to do some yoga, like some introductory
Yeah.
yoga.
You don't have to be great at it. Just do what you can.
I know.
Well,
And
see,
he-
that's
don't
my
have to
thing
do
is
it
when
all.
it comes to an athletic thing,
he has
I'm
to
like,
be
I
great.
need to,
Oh,
I
right.
know for a fact I'm going to go into a yoga
He
class
has to be great. Yeah.
and everyone's going to be like, sir, what are you doing here, sir?
And they're gonna be like putting their fucking legs behind their head. No, but you go to LA Fitness yoga class.
Yeah, but they'll be like, sir, do the downward dog. And I'll be
Baby.
like, I am.
Do you
They
realize
don't. Go ahead.
you will be fine? No, you go to those classes and there's gonna be people from every.
No, I know. I mean,
stage.
of course, you guys are making total sense. I'm just being a hard
I
one.
know.
Well, everybody's very supportive of everyone starting out. They want you to try.
Oh, exactly.
It's always
Nobody's
very
gonna be like-
impressive to me to see people starting, and they're not good at it, and we're not all good at it, and I'm suck at it too. But I just keep doing it because it's good for me. I
Do you
don't love
do-
it. I'm not a yoga fanatic. It's too quiet and slow for me.
Yeah.
It has to be kind of short, but you should. It's good for you.
I saw you do goat yoga on
Oh, I love
Instagram.
that.
Oh my god, I wanted to do it just because
What
it
is
looked.
goat yoga?
You put goats on your back and stuff. I showed you the pictures where I was like, she has a goat on her back. This is
When you're
awesome.
doing yoga, then they'll jump on you, and you have to like hold your balance and hold your shit together while a goat's walking around on you.
Damn.
Yeah.
So,
They're so cute.
I just thought she had a picture with a goat when you showed me. I didn't know it was yoga.
Goat yoga is like a thing. It's California.
That's cool.
She lives in
LA.
California. It's only
It
an
is.
LA, California
it's
thing.
only in LA.
Yeah. But I'm fascinated with it, of course. I'm like, oh, they're so cute. I just want to pet
It's
them.
just fun.
Well, so how do you love LA?
I like LA a lot. I do. I mean, I do. It's a love-hate thing because there's too many people and too much traffic. But other than that, it's a fantastic place. It's like the weather's great. It's a movie lover's dream.
Yeah.
You see your favorite actors everywhere. It's so cool. And it's like the people here are really cool. And, we're just super environmental everybody's trying to clean up the air here, and that's why it's like, not to get all liberal and shit, but the air here is so bad that all of the green initiatives are a big deal.
Well, no, and I know that you're
breathe here if you don't do this.
Yeah,
drive an electric car.
That's real bad.
Yeah, you're big on the hybrid or electric cars, right? Like,
the electric car I'll never buy from now on.
Nice.
You just don't need.
What kind of car do you have?
We have the BMW i3.
Ah, hey.
It's funny too because this is with social media, it's greatest. So we got the i3 because I've always been in electric cars. I had that little weird spaceship one.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So I always loved that car, and I was like, electric's the way. And this was way before, but I posted a picture of it on Instagram, and BMW saw it, so they contacted us to be in a commercial for them.
Shut the fuck up.
If you Google my name and i3, you'll see me and Chad.
Wait, I saw that.
i3. Yeah.
I saw that one when you posted it.
I've not seen it.
I have.
So that's actually like on their website. Like we're like, what they call them, the Born Electric, influencers or whatever.
Cute.
But I mean, I truly believe in this car. It's fantastic. It's an incredible car. It's like you don't miss the gas car thing at all.
Do you have a plug at your house?
Yeah.
Is it like a special plug?
You can get a charger, but you can't just plug them into the wall.
I'm stupid. I don't know.
They're incredible. They're so quiet and amazing, and they're so clean. And,
Yeah. Well, in LA, you have to. There is such a bad air problem there.
I just got a new car that is not electric, but I love it so much.
I mean, it's way better than your other one emissions-wise.
Oh, my other one was probably fucking...
That Escape was almost blowing fire out of the muffler. It was so old.
Bless it. Bless old Blue.
Yeah?
Bless the old car.
I know. It was a good car. I beat the ever-loving shit out of that car, and... Yeah, but I love my new one because it's so quiet.
Well, yeah. Do you get pretty good performance out of the electric cars? Because I really have heard that the new ones, like pretty soon, they're pretty badass.
Yeah.
Like they're kicking
very
ass.
badass because there's no gears, so you're a pure acceleration. That thing just like a space rocket.
There's no sound. That's what's so weird about it.
And fast as shit. And the cool thing is, instead of having to go to the gas station and spend like $75-$100 filling it up or whatever, it's like $10 a month in electricity bills. It's just nothing. It's so great.
You just have to spend a lot more up front to buy the vehicle.
Not really. Like they're pretty affordable now.
Yeah.
Really?
Tesla released a pretty affordable car.
Really?
Like a $30,000 sedan.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And you get you get the initiative
tax break.
Back. Yeah.
You do. Wow.
Yeah, it's great because they should, because it's really what cars haven't changed since they were invented. It's the same
for sure.
internal combustion engine bullshit. So it's like they've gotten better, but electric's just, when you think about it, like everything we have that's cool, it's electric. Why shouldn't cars be electric?
Yeah. Well, and now I mean, like my office building, the where I work, there's 3. It's like a campus of 3 buildings, and every building has probably 4 or 5 spaces out front that over the past few years they've made into charging stations. Mm-hmm. At the and I've always, cool. And of course I was like, fuck, man, those are my parking spots. But then I'm like,
the car would be your spot.
I know. I'm like, God damn it! I used to park there, but now they're fucking making it.
Well, that's a perk.
They should.
That's a perk of being environmentally conscious.
I know, but then I'm like, all right, I get it.
Get an electric car next
Tip of the hat. I know.
No, it makes total sense. I've always been on board because there's nothing that chaps my ass more than being in Atlanta traffic, stuck behind an old 1985 Ford F-150 that the muffler is falling off and it's blowing pure black coal
into your face,
into the air. And, because Atlanta's, not too far off of it. Like, it's terrible. You can see the smog line from where we live.
Atlanta, when you're driving through certain parts of it at certain times of the year, it's just like LA. I'm sure you can see the smog, like, physically in the air. Like,
you can feel it on your body sometimes. You're like, this is gross.
Yeah. I mean,
I lived in Atlanta in the 80s, and it wasn't that bad yet.
Oh, it's pretty gross.
Oh, that's when we saw you here.
That's right. When I lived in Atlanta.
Because we were here, too.
During the 80s, it was so great.
Well, y'all are going to love it because
I lived in Little Five Points.
Oh, Little Five Points is still where you would live, probably.
It's the cool shit.
Sort of like where I live now. Silver Lake is the Little Five Points.
Probably. Little Five Points is still fucking the jam.
Oh, it's fun to go down. That's where Vortex is, right?
Yeah, and that's near where Claremont Lounge.
Claremont Lounge, epic. awesome.
Do you know Claremont Lounge, Kathy?
No.
Okay.
No, but I'm sure I know the bar.
No, yeah, it's a famous strip joint in Atlanta where.
Oh yeah, I know.
It's got like, but it's a
one of the
themed.
first,
it's like where old strippers go. Like it's the bar is great and cheap booze, but people go for the side show. Like there's a old lady that dresses like Robin Hood or Little Red Riding Hood.
She's, I don't even know. It's been so long since we've been there. Baby.
She was awesome.
I don't even know if she's there anymore. I mean, like it's one of the first places I took Randall when he came to Atlanta because I wanted to make sure he was cool. Like, yeah, I was like,
that's our cool litmus test.
Exactly. I was like, if we're gonna be, if this is gonna happen, you need to be cool with this. And he was totally down. So.
Yeah, Blondie is the most famous stripper from there. She's like a big black lady that crushes beer cans with her big flapjack tits.
Hysterical.
And
in Atlanta, we had RuPaul. That's all. I loved it for that.
Yeah, that's
it.
Cool.
He was like a rock star in town.
God, RuPaul's from here?
I didn't know RuPaul was from here.
I didn't know RuPaul was from here.
Well, he was in New York and he went to Atlanta and became kind of a fixture.
That is a fun fact.
Yeah.
That is a fun fact. I had no idea RuPaul was from here.
Me neither.
It is kind of a punk rock dude there.
RuPaul, I mean, like, well, so it makes sense because Atlanta is like a gay mecca.
Oh, it is. It's awesome.
It's like a headquarters. Like
it is
for sure. Yeah, you go down there.
And everyone knows.
I love it, and that's why I love it so much.
I mean, that's what I love about it down here too, is because nobody gives a shit.
It's like the New York of the South.
I love
it. And everybody's a transplant here. I mean, I love the city. I do, but it's
great. Down there, downtown. The fact that you can go down there, and it's not even like a thing anymore if you're gay in downtown Atlanta.
No. Yeah.
It's almost like, oh, you're not gay? Get out.
Right.
Like, this is where we hang out. You're not gay.
I was there, the gay clubs were the cool clubs.
Oh, they're all still the cool. They're still the best places to go.
Cool then too.
It's
not
most
everyone
fun.
thought it was cool, I guess, but most of us.
In the 80s, that's awesome if y'all thought it was cool back then. Yeah.
Yeah, we had 688. Crazy.
Everything's different now, yeah.
Well,
but same areas.
Around in a band during that time. You guys can talk about that.
Well,
but you were just a child then, so it doesn't really matter to you.
As a baby, and But then we moved away and went many other places, but now we're back.
And this is where we'll be until we're going to retire to either Colorado or Wyoming.
Out west.
Yeah. Well, we want to go.
Out
we like the
west,
snow
for sure.
We
so
like
closer to you, for sure. Yeah.
We're big snowboarders. Snow. I would like to go to Mammoth. Yeah, I would like to go to Mammoth. But yeah, we're both big snowboarders. We love to snowboard.
Okay, I did not. I'm a bad skier. I'm bad.
Well, we don't ski.
I'm just not coordinated enough. I did not inherit that from anyone.
Well, Brooke we learned together, and we were in our 30s, so it was a late
30.
And we learned by killing ourselves for a winter. I mean, beat ourselves to a pulp. And then, she's a better snowboarder than me. She's way better.
I don't know. It's just fun.
We can both get around anywhere, but she's much more technically sound. Because she actually learned properly. I just used the fact that I can do sports and just started bombing down mountains.
Yeah, he was like,
his natural.
Exactly. He uses athleticism to just power through it, but never took the time to learn the fundamentals,
the technicalities.
Yeah. So now, since I took my time and learned all the technicalities and fundamentals, I can technically.
She blows me out of the water.
I can technically out snowboard him because when we went,
there's no technical. When we went after my neck surgery, I couldn't keep up with you for shit.
Yeah,
no chance.
We went to North Carolina in January with my niece, who's 19 now, but we took her. It was her first time snowboarding, and it was the first time we had snowboarded since before Gunnar was born. But it's one of those things. It's like riding a bike. It's one of the things. Once you know it, you strap on a snowboard and you're good.
Yeah, it never goes
You
away.
got to shake off the rust a little bit, but but once we've got to, and it's North Carolina, so we weren't on mountains that were you have much time to really.
It's man-made snow.
I'm talking about the time to get down the mountain. It's once you get up to the top, it's
minute and a half. Yeah,
right.
It's a hill.
especially
compared to like Breckenridge and shit.
Right. And we were with Casey, and so we would only go up so much. And then like, but once we went all the way up to the top, and I was like, Casey, you'll be fine. But like, Brandon was like, I'll stay with her. But yeah, he was like, you're way better than I am.
Well, no, we raced once she tapped out from her injuries of falling, which is normal.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then
And
you
then
bombed down the mountain together, and we raced, and you just blew my tits off.
Oh yeah. It was like when Casey tapped out, and we were like, let's just go up, me and you, and let's just fucking hit the gas.
Go toe to toe.
Yeah, and I usually back in the day, you would have, because I was so cautious.
Well, and I'm way heavier. I should beat you because I've got 100.
Yeah,
got 100 and something pounds on you.
Gravity should pull you down.
That
faster,
shows that technique and proper form. That shit's important, people. So.
Well, and also she's lighter, so she's skating over the top of the snow.
Well,
less drag.
There's way less.
The weight is a drag.
And there's way less risk when she falls. When 250 pounds falls on my face.
That's the thing. Yeah, and when you had neck surgery, so you were probably not even consciously like more cautious.
Oh, I definitely would, but that's no excuse. You're way faster. So
I like that I'm better.
I do too.
Take it.
Yeah, I'm just need to take it. Yeah, I'm better at you than something. Let's just.
Yeah,
I need to
agree.
accept it.
Just take it.
I'm trying to talk you out of it, and I shouldn't.
Yeah.
No, you're better. Baby.
Yay!
Don't give him anything, take it.
I know. And ask Marshall Parrish. He's said that I'm better than you since day one.
Well, because you are. You learned.
He just was saying that to give you shit. But
well, either way, we're all in agreement.
I know. And it's just my most fun thing that I love to do more than anything. Like when I'm snowboarding, like I fucking love to do that more than anything ever.
That's why we'll probably go to Colorado. That's where I lived for years in Colorado Springs. And
you could probably ask Casey. I had the most. She was even like, I think you're having the most fun that I've ever seen you. And I know, and that's my niece, and I was like, okay.
Well, I think we need to definitely wrap up.
I know, we do. My phone's actually about to die.
Yeah, talk about a long podcast.
I know.
Well, I love it. Well,
it was super fun.
It was so fun.
You just let us know when y'all are ready for us, because I can't wait.
All right. It'll probably be like maybe a couple weeks. We'll have
cool.
you guys on.
Yeah,
Sweet.
please let us know, and then we'll schedule up a time where we can talk to everybody.
Yeah, and I'm going to go check out Chad's painting from our bedroom in just a minute. I'm going to go and check out his shit.
Chad Robertson.
Chad
on Instagram.
Robertson. And please go squish your doggy's face for me and say,
yes, you'll see paintings on his site and dog pictures.
Oh,
awesome.
Perfect. Well, it was
this
nice
was a blast.
To talk to you.
I'm so glad we did this.
Talking to you guys.
All right. Well, we will.
Too. It was super fun.
Yep, we will talk to you soon, lady.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
And that's a wrap.
It's a rippity rap.
Yep. Except for the fact that magically Brooke's no longer drunk as we record this outro the next day. Magically. She sobered up.
I want to know how drunk I sounded in this podcast.
It wasn't bad. You weren't. I wasn't thinking you were drunk like you were
until
much later, till we were back in the bedroom, and I still was like, "Damn, what happened? Did I slip you a roofie or something?"
What made you know I was drunk then, babe?
It was clear, but I didn't know you were going to be affected the next day. Like, that's just a sign of old age for both of us. Obviously, we can't party anymore.
Horrible morning for Mrs. Fowler. Holy shit!
I slept like a dream, and she usually sleeps like a dream. She woke up, I was like, I slept like dicks.
I slept like a bag of dicks, and I had the pounding headache and stomach feeling queasy, and but.
Yeah, so
hope you guys enjoyed it.
We will be back tonight recording again with AA Ron from Drinks with Larry.
Yeah, I don't know which order these episodes are going to come out in. So
yeah, you never know. So
we might be time traveling again. Yeah.
And you going to take it.
All right.
All right, well, y'all go fuck yourselves.